Hey guys, it's Eric Connor from Nerdy Geek Talk, source for all your nerdy geeky needs. Here with episode 61 of Steel City Bots, our TFCon episode. Yay! And not only is it our TFCon episode, it is our first crossover episode. Double yay! And you know who
Yay!
it's I was gonna say, you know who it's a crossover with? Michael, aka Soundjack. Hey,
Hi,
how are you doing?
I'm doing well, and how are you doing?
I'm doing good now that we're crossing over with Soundjack's Rambles.
Yeah.
The long
Uh,
anticipated crossover.
The highly anticipated crossover, and the
Exactly.
absolutely
That no one knew was coming.
and no one would have ever expected, ever.
Including us until today.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alyssa, how are you?
I'm doing good. I have some Oreos in front of me, so this is a good time. I probably shouldn't be eating any because I've been eating too much today, but sometimes you gotta snack.
Now I'm jealous. Are you excited for your Steel City Bots debut? You've been on Anime Overdrive, but
I am excited. It's gonna be great. I feel honored. Let's see how much I can contribute to the conversation.
woohoo! I mean, you were there, so
Yeah,
I'm sure you have lots. And last but certainly not least, Miguel, how are you doing, my friend?
Good. Com's good. I'm sad about the aftermath, both of not being around all the people that I met and got to hang out with, but also the state of some of my haul, which we'll talk about at the end of the show.
Yeah, just speaking of which, the way we're going to do this is basically we're going to talk about the con from beginning to end, chronological order of how it happened, basically, in terms of starting with our arrivals, going through the entire thing. I'll have the schedule pulled up to make sure that we don't forget anything. And then, yes, we will discuss our hauls at the end. So definitely stay till the end because a lot of us got some interesting stuff, and some of us, aka me, got way too much interesting stuff.
The back end of this podcast will take 2 hours for Eric to go through everything.
Just to list it all, not even describe how I like it.
Just Eric. This is good.
No, if you were to describe it all as well, it would take at least like 6.
Oh man.
Rest in pepperoni.
Just for pepperoni podcast listeners. Oh boy.
Okay. Anyways, let's do this.
Yeah.
So, Michael, you were the first one to. You and Alyssa were the first ones to arrive. So, tell us all about your amazing arrival.
Okay. So I flew out of my local airport, and Alyssa flew out of her local airport.
I also threw myself out of the airport.
Yeah, flew through whatever, tomato, potato. Anyway, so we've gone on our flights. As far as I understand, getting on wasn't too eventful for either of us. Oh,
No.
though I will say I was stopped at security because they saw the power charged Bumblebee I was giving Eric in its Volkswagen mode, and I think because of the electronics they didn't know what they were looking at.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I will just because I didn't take the airline, so I can't tell that story. But before, whenever I have gone on vacation and taken toys with me, some of them look very interesting passing through that. It looks like sometimes, depending on the toys you have, you're carrying a bunch of tiny little skeletons in your bag, which can look quite creepy. So I never ever blame anyone if they do a double take when looking at your stuff through the scans at the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I want to side tangent with the story from going through security when I was leaving the Czech Republic for my study abroad program for school. I'd gotten a marionette doll from my one friend because it's Noah, if you're listening on Soundjack Rambles, and he loves Pirates of the Caribbean, and I was in a shop and I found a Jack Sparrow mannequin, Jack Sparrow mannequin, but it had a metal sword.
Oh, Jesus.
So they had to take a look at that when it went through security. It was fine, but
Amazing.
But side tangent over. Besides the security stop, I think it was uneventful for both of us.
Yeah. So I wanted to interrupt a bit because I also, yeah, it was pretty eventful for me on my end too. However, I did get my bag pulled over because I brought my Switch with me. I also have a really large wallet, and I like to put all of my chargers in my little front pocket. So in the cameras, there was just like a huge black mass. So they had to pull mine over because I guess they thought I was hiding something. Also, there was a guy who I guess was carrying a bunch of what looked like burritos in like a bag. And so they had to like take out each individual burrito and wipe it with like one of those chemical wipes. And I was like, I feel bad for that guy. Like,
because they were all wrapped in tinfoil.
Yes,
so...
they were all wrapped in tinfoil, so they had to make sure it wasn't like bombs or whatever. So that was fun. But yeah, I don't think it was eventful for either of us.
Yeah, but when we got to O'Hare, I had landed first and was trying to figure out where Alyssa would end up. I guess completely wrong. I found United flights. I found the United flights area, but they were not where they were landing apparently. But we did find each other. We got on a shuttle that was literally about to leave for the hotel. And we got there and we unpacked and we waited for Rob and Eric to arrive. Oh, Rob's not on this. Whoops. Sorry, Rob. Well, he didn't. I don't know where he's been. He's been quiet since the con, admittedly. But anyway, yeah, we waited for Rob and Eric. And Eric, how was your trip in?
That was really good timing because I actually just left and came back.
Wow, excellent.
Way to ruin it.
I mean, it sounds fine, but anyways, what was we gonna? Oh yeah, my arrival.
This is a professional podcast we're running, just to remind viewers, very professional here.
Yeah.
I left. I'm trying to think. So I left. Oh god, my trip there sucked. It just I don't like Chicago now. I love your pizza, Chicago, but God, I hate your city.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I left around 5-ish Eastern time because I had to cross time zones, which was very confusing because we were on the border of it the entire trip. So I was very confused about my ETA. I got there almost, I think, 8 o'clock Central Time, which means was it 8 o'clock or was it 7 o'clock? I think it was 7 o'clock, actually.
Yeah, it was 7.
Which means it took me about 3 hours to get there, when really it should only take me 2 from where I was coming from.
But it was rush hour.
And yeah, God, I hate the traffic. But once I got there, it was all okay. I got to hang out with you guys. We, as you say, we met up. Rob beat me to the hotel by like 10 minutes, I think.
Yeah, and I had helped him take luggage up to his room because he was with his mom, and he had a lot of stuff.
So Alyssa was my first victim, person to meet.
Yeah. Yep. And I was not. You were a lot more. You were a larger presence than I thought you would be. I mean, I don't know if I had a really vivid picture of you in my head, but you're tall. You are tall.
That's interesting. I feel like, but when you're dating Michael, that you'd like not be surprised by anyone who's not taller than him.
I mean, admittedly, she's still surprised how tall I am sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, Michael's like a full head taller than me, pretty much.
Way more than that.
I was gonna say it's definitely more.
Well,
than
not
just
way more than that, but like more than that. At least the shoulder.
Definitely. But yeah, so I met Alyssa, then I saw Michael and Rob. Then it wasn't too long. Did we go to your room?
Yeah, I think so.
So we went to your room and I dropped off my stuff because Diecast and Melvar weren't there yet, so I couldn't get into my room.
Yeah.
Which was fine because then we went out. We got an Uber. Right? I'm not missing anything. We just chilled in your room for a little bit.
We went to Chipotle.
Yep. Because I really wanted Chipotle, and it rocked. So we went to Chipotle. We ate there. We made the mistake of eating Chipotle before checking the Target.
Yes, we did.
Which, normally wouldn't be a big mistake, but,
We also stopped at the GameStop.
Yes, our priorities were we had our order wrong, but nonetheless, Chipotle was quite good. We sat there, chatting and eating, and it was great. We went to GameStop. Did you guys got cards at GameStop, right? Pokemon cards, like
Yeah.
We got the distribution codes for the current mythical Pokemon Zeraora. That's how you pronounce that.
Look at you guys go.
Yup.
Look at us nerds, and you're a nerd too because you got something at GameStop, right?
Yes, I got Marvel Legends Archangel because it was on sale. It was only like $27 when really it should be $35 or more at some places. So I was happy with that.
Also, when we were walking over to the GameStop from the Chipotle, there was a limo. There was a limo in the middle of the parking lot between Chipotle and GameStop. And the guy was asking if we wanted his business card, which Rob did take for Chris.
Yes, because I made the joke of oh hey guys, like there's our ride. Yeah. And then he saw that, and then he was like, hey, take my business card, and we were like, I mean, we're never gonna take a limo, so why would we take it? But no, Rob, of course, was like, no, I'll get this for my sister.
Yeah.
And did.
Yeah.
Yeah. So GameStop, then Target, which Target was it was fun walking around Target, seeing the alcohol whenever we first walked in, because that was surprising to all of us because none of our Targets have it, and all the Target employees thought we were crazy.
Yes, they did.
They're all like, "What? Yours don't?"
Okay, side tangent for the next quick tangent from the next morning because we were looking for Gatorade because we went the next day for snacks, and I asked an employee because everything was shifted around because of the alcohol. And I asked the employee, where's the Gatorade? And they're like, in the wine aisle. Where's the wine aisle? Follow me. You don't know where the wine aisle is? Yeah, our Targets don't have them. It's illegal in our state, or was.
Yep.
So, but getting back to the Target the first night, Eric, what was in the toy aisle?
There was actually a really decent amount of stuff in the toy aisle. So I can't really complain, but I still can complain. Because, again, our order was wrong. But I did manage to snag... I already had the cassette 3-pack because of you from the movie, but the new things that I got were Studio Series Shadow Raider and Dark of the Moon Ratchet, which there were 2 Ratchets, so we left one. That was the only Shadow Raider, because if there was 2, I would have bought 2, because I really want to flank Lockdown. And there was no Bumblebee, which is odd, because I'm pretty sure he's triple packed. So, I guess he's the most popular character, but still, whenever the entire toy shelf is full of Bumblebee toys, and there's still 2 Ratchets there and everything, I was just a little surprised that out of everything, that is what was bought, and so that was surprising. But I got those 2 Studio Series figures, and then I got the first time I'd ever seen a Ultra Class. No, is it Ultra?
Yeah, it is
Ultra Class. Cyberverse Shockwave, which is a toy that I've been wanting ever since I got to handle Jared's from Steel City Bots in person, one of our last hangouts that we did, and I absolutely loved that toy. So seeing that there was great, and getting to buy that made me happy. But then we get to the unhappy part, because life isn't always happy, folks. No, I would have been satisfied, very happy even with the stuff that I got. I was very happy with everything that I got. But then some dude who was there also, I'm presuming for TFCon, had to run by and flash a Voyager class Studio Series Ironhide and then laugh and run away, which I never would have known that Target even had those. And would have just thought that I just scored nice, but no. I found out that this dude who couldn't have been there 10 more minutes, otherwise he would have been hovering around the toy section unless he was waiting an hour for us. But that'd be really weird. No, but this dude just managed to snag this stuff, and then he showed it off. If he never would have showed it off, I never would have been jealous. So man, if you're listening, dude, I hate you, but I actually don't.
Dang.
Yeah.
Do you call people out a lot on Steel Pity Bots? Is that a big feature of the podcast?
Well, actually, we haven't started the show Steel Pity Pots, but I really want to now.
I meant...
Does that answer your question?
You're mean, Air.
I'm sorry, it was funny. I liked what she said. If she would have just fumbled any other way, I'd probably just would have ignored it. But I just thought steel pity pots sounded funny. Like, what are pity pots? Pots full of pity.
Oh God! I guess we can just cancel this episode now, huh?
That's all you need to know from TFCon, guys. Good night.
Don't steal. Don't flash your iron hides at people, folks. That sounds weird.
God. All right.
I mean, that's a very. I mean, Ironhide is definitely a reasonable euphemism.
Oh no! Hide your iron hides. Don't flash them. But anyways, then we went back to the hotel. We didn't play Switch that night. We just basically we exchanged. Wait, we did? No, we played it with Miguel. We didn't play it before, did we?
Played with Miguel. Never played with us.
Yeah, I brought Super Mario Party with me, so we had some fun with that. Eric won, even though we didn't actually finish.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game. Unfortunately, we weren't able to hook up the Switch to the TV. Like, for some reason, it wouldn't allow me to change the setting, like the input setting or the
hotel
source.
Sucks.
Yeah, so we had to play on the tiny ass Switch screen, but it's still a fun game. Highly recommend it for parties. If only Smash Brothers was here at the time.
Da 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 da.
No, see, that's why we in the winter we do a small meetup, and then we
become enemies because of Smash and everyone beating each other with Piranha Plant.
And that's when we become steel pity pots.
Yeah, what
will really happen is everyone will try ganging up on me after I win too much.
Miguel's confident.
I mean, we can modify the strength of fighters so we can just nerf you all the way, Miguel, and just boost ourselves all the way up.
Damn, fighting! Those
Forcing
are some fighting words.
I'll take you all on.
All right, Optimus.
All right.
Although, I hope Jared posts that picture. In our group chat, Jared did his own director's cut version of the forest scene, which was amazing.
It was quite funny.
There were three new cameos.
Yep.
I'm confused what the third is.
It was in the back. He didn't mention it.
Okay, I'll have to look at it again later.
Oh wait, I'm looking at the wrong chat.
But after we played Super Mario Party and I won. Haha. Then we basically just exchanged toys and said goodnight, right?
Yeah. I got
plenty of toys to exchange.
Yes, we can talk about all the toys that were exchanged later.
Oh yeah, we will. So then the morning of the thing,
at this
right?
point, let's talk about my arrival, because my arrival happened on Friday.
No,
it's Thursday.
This is Thursday. We're still on Thursday.
Yeah, we're still on Thursday. I was going to say,
active.
we have an entire day before we get
All right, at this point on Thursday, I'm still at home, coming back from work.
Sadness.
Sad and saying, like, when we were like, we're on our way, and he was like,
yeah, making us feel bad. In our chat, we'd be like, oh, I'm 15 minutes away from the hotel. And it's like, oh, I'm 20 minutes away from the hotel. And he's like, I'm at work.
I mean, the one thing I'll say is that you guys at the very least were including me. Like you guys were like, all right, which one would you rather go to? This restaurant that's attached to the hotel or Chipotle? And I'm like, there's Chipotles everywhere. I want to go to the restaurant near the hotel.
Okay, do you want to know a secret?
What?
I may or may not have mainly included you in on that vote, mainly because I really wanted to go to Chipotle that night, and I know Rob wanted to go to that place, and I was like, what can I do to make sure that I go to Chipotle tonight, because I really want Chipotle tonight.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, oh, actually, that makes sense. And then I thought of you. So then it was of good intention, but I'm not going to lie. At first it was like, how can I make sure I go to Chipotle tonight?
I mean, honestly, even if you hadn't included me, going to Chipotle would have, if you had gone to Caddyshack and then been like, oh no, we already went, I would have been like, well, it's here.
Yeah, true. But yeah,
Friday.
Friday. Did we do anything before we went and got snacks?
Yeah, we did. Well, we recorded an episode for my channel, but that was it. And then we got snacks.
We did?
Yeah.
I thought that was later for some reason.
No, wait.
Yeah, you could be right. You're probably right. My memory is actually the
Yeah,
worst.
because when we got back from getting snacks at Target, we went up to your room and stayed there till basically
Oh, yeah. Okay.
the con
yeah.
started.
What you are experiencing firsthand, ladies and gentlemen, is Eric's Todd, his teen onset dementia.
Oh my god. Don't worry, we'll get to that.
Rest in pieces.
Michael, do you even get that? Wait, Michael and Alyssa, do either of you even get that joke?
No, I
shouldn't.
don't.
I was going to say, I don't think either of you should.
I mean, it still sounds funny, but
Oh, it does, but there's a reason. We'll get to
Eric
it.
Eric was diagnosed by one internet personality at some point in the weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah. We went to Target and got snacks, and that's when we had the whole where's the, like, you know, there's wine, but there's not wine, but you know, all that.
Because this Target was laid out exactly like my Target that I work at, except the alcohol was there. And where the Gatorade would be on the wall next to the refrigerated goods, there were just more refrigerators just filled with beer.
Yeah.
So
and I tried forever to find Cheese Whiz. I had to get 2 employees to help me before I found the Cheese Whiz.
The real question is, why were you even looking for Cheese Whiz?
Because I hate myself. No, because it's a guilty pleasure, okay?
It's alright, I ain't judging.
I'm not saying it's good.
You are
I'm
judging.
just saying I like it.
Don't lie. You are in fact judging.
Again,
Goddamn.
I'm not claiming it's good. I'm just claiming that I like it, you know. You can like bad things. For example, I love steel pity pots, but
Oh my god.
you brought this upon yourself.
I
Anyway.
know. I do it way too much, and it's a real problem.
But yeah, Diecast went with us to get snacks, and yeah, we got snacks.
And then he went back to get more cash back from the register, but the register was not liking his card at that
Even
point.
though it
in
had
time.
already accepted it, which was really funny because he literally had just used it, and then he did the trick that I did that the night before, where he's like, "I'll buy a candy bar just so I can get $40 in cash back." And then he used literally the same exact card, and it wouldn't take it, so we had to get help while our Uber was driving.
He went to a different self checkout that had different card reader, and all the card readers are separately have different tastes. Apparently, that's all I can explain. How it works at Target. That's all I know.
So basically, we don't know, but yeah.
But at that point, our Uber was there, and we were like, "Where'd Diecast go?" Yeah.
So then we got him. Then we head back. Did we go to the Disney? No. Then we were.
Oh yeah.
No. Then we recorded, right?
No.
I swear it was after. Okay, I guess so. We recorded first. Then we did that. Then we go to the Disney Mall. I mean,
yeah,
we
went to
the Disney Mall.
Disney Mall.
We went to the fashion outlets of Chicago, which is in Rosemont, and we looked around. We went into Hot Topic and the Disney store, which was there.
The Disney store was the main point of interest.
Yes.
Now we have to edit that out because the world cannot know that I've been to a Hot Topic. No, I'm kidding.
Really, everyone
Embrace
knows
your inner emo child, Eric.
That Hot Topic was weird because it's not next to a Spencer's.
Yeah, isn't that odd?
It's okay though.
The Hot
because
Topic of my mall isn't next to Spencer's, though. It's like in the same hallway.
That's okay though because I'm very glad there wasn't a Spencer's.
Yes, very glad.
Yeah, but anyways, we did that. Almost got crepes, but we didn't get crepes. Then we went back to the hotel room, my hotel room with Diecast and Melvar, and that's when we got Giordano's, right?
Yes.
Which, oh my god, was actually life-changing. I cannot, they had hyped that up to me for months and months and months as the best thing ever, and I was like, well, I still expect it to be good, but it's not going to be that good because they set the bar so high. I was like, there's no way this thing is meeting my expectations. It blew my expectations out of the water, and I could not believe it.
When they talk about a pizza pie, this is what they mean.
It was. I literally just can't. I have no words other than just it was like perfect.
The only reason I'd go back to Chicago anymore is for that pizza.
I totally agree. Although apparently Diecast and Momo were saying that they actually can ship them to you, like you just bake them. So I think we're gonna have to look into that, especially if we do a meetup beforehand or anything.
No, we'll just be at TFCon Toronto, and instead of ordering a local pizza, we'll get that delivered to us.
No, actually, one of us should just order it beforehand, and then, well, our rooms might not have ovens.
Fair.
I mean,
They most likely won't have ovens.
probably.
Yeah.
Has been spoiled. Anyway.
No.
Well,
yeah.
I was there, but I did not get to have any of the pizza because if I did, my throat might have closed. Maybe, or I would have gotten itchy. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
I had some pasta though. Although, if I'm honest, I feel like deep dish pizza is basically just lasagna or like casserole disguised as pizza.
No, but it's not though because there's no noodles or any like. I mean, as in like the lasagna can still be, but like it's not. It's
but
different.
Isn't it like layered though? Like how lasagna and casserole
It's
are layered?
It's layered like how pizza is layered. You just swap out where the sauce and the cheese are. It's literally pizza. Just switch the placement so the sauce is on top of the cheese,
And you make it all thick.
and as we say, and the cheese is just like literally 10 times as thick as a regular pizza.
Good lord!
And so it's perfect.
I mean, I feel like even with allergies, like even if I ignore that and I could have had dairy, I feel like I probably wouldn't have liked the pizza, if only because I'm not a big fan of like
Stop raining on our parade that you didn't even try.
cheese. But I mean, who knows? I guess we'll never know if I would have liked it or not.
No.
So,
Stop
R.I.P.
claiming
me.
you hate it, Alyssa.
I don't think I'd hate it. I probably just wouldn't be as wild about it. But you know, you guys do you.
But then we hung out and Diecast. We had some other fun people come into the room, and Diecast had a quietus for one of them. So I got to actually look at, mess around with a bit, and fall in love with Quietus.
That is gorgeous.
Who previously I was like, you know what, I would like. Cyclonus is one of the few characters that, like, yeah, I'd buy a Masterpiece version of. But I was like, no, I could probably wait for that to go on sale or something. But after handling it, I'm like, no, I want him. So we'll see around Christmas time if I am gonna buy a Quietus, you know, if I'm gonna buy one, it's probably around then, because I'm pretty sold on that toy after handling it. It's quite beautiful and fantastic. So
You could have bought one at the show.
I know, but I was buying other things.
You already bought so much, Eric. You didn't need to buy more. Though if you said you wanted to buy it, I would definitely have encouraged you to go ahead.
Because it was so good. It's a good toy.
Yeah. Except for the fact the cockpit doesn't collapse all fold down correctly. Though,
Yes.
according to the fans' toys, all you need to do is lube the cockpit.
So yeah, which leads into the next thing, which is the opening podcaster panel of the show.
Which I couldn't be on because there was apparently not enough room.
Yeah, sadly they did only one host per podcast. So I was on that. Diecast was on that for Radio Free Cybertron. Who was on it for transmission? Daryl was on it for transmissions. Ugh. And then Vangelis was on it for WTF at TFW. And then Aaron was on it for Autopod Decepticast, right?
Yep. Yes.
So that was a grand old time. It was quite funny. You know, lots of different things were said, including how you just got to lube the cockpit for Quietus, which, you know, eventually turned into a joke.
Vangelis complaining about his dry nut mouth.
Yes, that happened many times.
And Diecast wanting to feed the little donut bot to his grandma.
Oh, yeah.
And everyone's thinking he's a cannibal. He was trying to make Grimlock a cannibal.
Yeah, because I immediately, as soon as he said that, I was just like, "That's cannibalism. That's not okay." And then Vangelis backed me up, and he was just like, "Yeah, wait, what are you talking about? Like, you can have the pizza one, but you can't have the donut one. That's just wrong." And then we talked about the donut face. Yeah, he has a face, and it's not the mouth isn't just the donut hole. Like, they actually gave it a separate mouth, and it's like a I've seen some stuff mouth.
It also makes me think of Baymax's face a little bit.
It kind of does.
If you move the line between his eyes below.
Except it's a scarred Baymax.
Yeah.
But
he's seen the inside of Grimlock's mouth before, and he did not approve.
Yeah, and he escaped.
He needs to floss a lot more.
Yeah, really. So after the podcast panel. Then, before that, technically, there was the customizing class, which none of us were at, but Rob was at, and he seemed to have a good time. He was at the same table as Grimlockamus Prime, so that was cool. But I think that's about it.
I thought it was just Grimlockamus.
Oh, yeah, Grimlockamus. I was combining that with Cheetamus Prime. Grimlockamus.
Well, I was also thinking of the other guy who's called Grimlock Prime Customs.
Oh, yeah. And then I didn't mention that we did do the registration, which was so much faster and easier than a BotCon registration, and it made me so happy that I didn't have to wait in line at a BotCon registration. I got to just do that. We were through in like 10 minutes max, and we were not anywhere near the front of the line, so I was very happy with that. Rob actually got some of the exclusives early, because he was a premium ticket holder, so he actually came out with, was it just Crack Up, the G2 breakdown?
I think he just got Crack Up, yeah.
Yeah, I think he just got Crack Up, which was nice to see, because after the podcaster panel, I did get to mess around with that a little bit. There was the opening ceremony, which was, that was fun and nice and everything. And then we had, my God, I'm so conflicted about this, because, it was the best and the worst simultaneously. The 5 Faces of Darkness screening with Flint... Is it Flint Dill? Is that how you say it?
Flint Dilly.
Flint Dilly. Okay, putting this out, saying this first. Flint Dilly is absolutely amazing.
Yes.
I love Flint Dilly. He's a dude that I would totally love to go out to lunch with, or get a call, that kind of thing. I feel like it would be so fun to talk to him, and he was magnificent. It was very ambitious deciding to do 5 Faces of Darkness screening with commentary, all 5 episodes all the way through. And I think it would have went fantastic if it was just that. The problem was it was not just commentary. It was also Q&A. Which, again, also would have been fine if the Qs were only related to 5 Faces of Darkness.
Yeah, we definitely got off topic a bunch. But, it's still very interesting to hear what he had to say. It's just the panel was supposed to end about 10. We got to the end of episode...
Yeah, we lasted through 3 episodes. Yeah,
10:20.
Yeah, we left at, a little past 10:20... after the 3rd episode ended, right when the 4th was starting. And I felt so bad because I was in the front, and I did notice, I think Flint Dilly liked my laugh, because he would look at me and laugh almost every time that I laughed at something. He also said that he was very interested to see what the fans and stuff thought of this, and because he wants to write a book. So he's so I'm kind of researching that. But just I noticed that in particular, I think some people think I have a very funny laugh apparently, and I think he's one of them, because I noticed multiple times I was laughing, one of the few people laughing, and he would literally just look at me and start laughing a little too.
Oh my goodness.
I felt bad leaving, because I was I'm really enjoying this, and I don't want him to think that, I'm leaving his panel because I'm bored of him, because I absolutely love him.
Well,
I was just exhausted.
Was he giving you drinks during the panel too? Because I was experiencing, at this point, I'm in between transit or getting to the con. I forget where exactly this happened, and I remember seeing all of this stuff on Twitter and just being I was, by that point I was in Chicago. And I was just looking at Twitter and being what am I missing? Are they getting him drunk?
No, there was no alcohol.
Water. There was
just water.
He's just a fun dude.
Yeah.
No, there was water up there, which I drank.
There was
he named Corn Dog. He's that's official. You can take that. Yeah, because people are asking like the name of every background character, but no, people kept asking questions about the freaking movie. It's like we're not watching the movie. There's a movie screening later. Like, I mean, you can't ask questions during it. Still, it's like the movie's later. This is not the movie. We're talking about Five Faces of Darkness.
Yeah.
And everyone's asking about the movie.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the big thing. It's obviously the big thing. And he's done that before. He stayed at the start of the panel, but he wanted to try something else, something different, something very important, because they were in the middle of writing this before the movie. They started writing it before the movie even got out, and they were waiting for the response. And then the response happened, and they had to write according to that.
Yup. But yeah, it was fantastic. Him and Five Faces of Darkness, but like I just could not stay throughout the rest of it. So, to anyone who actually was there and stayed through parts 4 and 5, definitely tweet at us and let us know how that went, because I'm like actually curious, because it started to quiet down about halfway through episode 3. Like, I think people kind of got the message like, okay, we need to shut up because it is already way past the time that this panel is supposed to end, and we aren't even like halfway through. So
the only thing I will say I regret is not staying long enough to ask him what happened with the dipoles, with the difference in the designs of the monsters that Blair and Wheelie run into on Io, between the end of episode 3 and the start of episode 4. Because that is a big point of confusion in the fandom. And I'm certain someone probably asked, but we didn't hear it.
But yeah, so if you stayed, let us know how that went, because
yes.
I wish I could have, but I just needed to crash. So after that, we went and we basically crashed until Saturday morning. Which, Miguel, do you want to? How was the trip from the airport to your location outside of TFCon?
All right, so I instead of staying at the hotel, I was staying with a friend who lives in Chicago proper, not Rosemont, where the con was. So I left, and part of the reason why I wasn't there on Friday was because I booked my flight 12 hours later than I thought I had. Booked it for 8 p.m. my time rather than 8 a.m. So getting to the airport, going through everything, that was pretty much fine. And then getting my friend picking me up was good. So I didn't really have too much of an eventful night leading up to the con, or even getting to it. Which Saturday morning we headed out, rolled up. I was concerned about not doing pre-registration the night before and how long it might take getting through on Saturday, and I just showed up and they were like, "Oh, you're pre-registered? Here's your bracelet. Go and have fun." And I'm like, "Cool." So that was pretty seamless. The difficult part was locating all of you. The first person that I encountered in the dealer room was Rob, only because he was in his Halloween rung cosplay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what did we do for breakfast Saturday?
Oh, right. Yes, let's talk about that story, Alyssa, shall we?
So, Michael and I went down...
Oh, this was Friday. This wasn't Saturday.
Okay, yeah. So on Friday, we were like, all right, let's go get breakfast. We went down to the main restaurant that's there. And turns out breakfast was what, $17 per person? $18 per person for brunch.
$18 for a breakfast buffet.
Which was a little much for us, so we were like, all right, let's go try and find something a little more affordable. But unfortunately, because you're in Rosemont, there wasn't really any good places to walk to that were like in our immediate area. And Rosemont is like surrounded by highways, so not too many good places to walk to. We saw a diner place though on our map, so we were like, oh, that sounds like a good place for breakfast. So we went. It was in an office building, which was really strange. But then when we got there, it turns out that they only cater on Fridays, and they aren't actually open. So we ended up going to Starbucks and getting breakfast there.
Yeah.
I actually did go to the breakfast buffet because with our Wi-Fi code and stuff and the room keys, they actually gave us 2 free breakfast buffet things.
Why didn't you tell us this?
Why didn't you? I mean, you didn't get them though. Apparently.
We didn't ask because we didn't think we were going to get complimentary.
I mean, it just came. I didn't know this until we were like there.
You could have told us for Saturday or Sunday.
Well, did you check the Wi-Fi password? Like, did you ever log into anything on the Wi-Fi?
Yes.
Then you didn't get them. I'm guessing it may have been because we had a room with 2 queen beds. Like, I'm guessing maybe because we had more. I don't know.
That is.
We didn't ask for it to my knowledge. So, they just gave it to me. Melvar was kind and he paid for his breakfast and let me have the free one because he's like, you're a poor college student, so here you go. I was like, thank you. I'm eternally in your debt.
I mean, you're eternally in debt because you went to college.
Exactly.
But
yeah, exactly. No, but that was good and everything. I don't remember what I did for breakfast Saturday morning though.
I know what I did for breakfast Saturday morning.
What did you do for breakfast Saturday morning, Michael?
Went back to Starbucks to get another bagel because Friday I got 2 bagels thinking, oh, I'll save one for Saturday. But when I went to get my bagel Saturday because I put it in the fridge, the mini fridge, it was rock hard even after putting it through the microwave.
Huh. I really don't remember what I did Saturday though.
I can't eat that. I have to go get another one.
But anyways, we got into the dealer room and God, that was overwhelmingly awesome.
It was great.
It was so fantastic. Just walking in and seeing everything.
As someone who went to TFCon last year, there was a lot more space on the floor for things to be much more spread out. I would not be surprised if there were the same amount of dealers. I feel like there's still more, but I would not be surprised if there was the same amount of dealers, just everything was better spread out. Mm-hmm. So that there was space between aisles.
I know that I went in and the very first thing I bought was whatchamacallit. Oh my god. I am so bad at this and I need to remember it and I can't. Sure. Why can I not remember this company's name? I know who they are.
Chosen Prime?
No. The company that made the toy that I'm going to talk about and I can't. God. Perfect Effect. It's Perfect Effect. I did it. I did it. It's the first time. Yeah, I went in and literally the first thing I bought, I went to the Chosen Prime, saw the slot they had to have Mega Doragon out. There were none there. The price was there, and it was next to Beast Guerrera, but there was none of him there, and I was like, oh god, no. Asked an employee, and he's like, oh, we have 2 left in the back. Hold on a sec. Went and grabbed them. Handed me one, and I handed $180, and then he went and put the other one on a shelf, and someone else picked it up and bought it. And then I think a couple other places might have had it for a little bit, but I am pretty sure that is one of the things that actually sold out at the con for sure, because not many people had them. So I was very, very happy to snag him. Then we went around buying multiple things and such, looking at the display cases and everything. And then Miguel showed up, and that was all nice and stuff.
Yeah, it was the first time we'd ever met in person.
Yeah, it was sweet. Then we didn't go to the Beast Wars Agenda screening. No. Then there's the costume registration dealer room, fan media panel, which we still didn't go to, and all this other stuff. Then there was the Q&A with James Roberts, which we did go to. Did we do anything other than the dealer room? Or were you just in the dealer room?
Yeah, we were just in the dealer room for 3 hours, just walking about, talking and buying things,
and returning bags to my hotel room. And buying more bags and stuff. But anyways, then there was a Q&A with James Roberts. That was certainly fun. I liked that a lot.
There was one very important question that was asked that I never thought of, that I'm so glad someone asked.
Please don't say it, because if it's not a spoiler.
No, it's not a spoiler because it's something that didn't happen.
I already told you about it, Alyssa.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind. We're fine.
So just quickly, just in case you're listening to this and you read more than you say, I lost light, and you didn't hear about this through Twitter. The question that I was asked, what if you remember from issue 14 of Midtumti, when Chrome Dome is going to Overlord's head and then Overlord turns the tables on him, there's a scene with between Chrome Dome and Prowl being like, "You don't help me, I'm going to tell Rewind things that he shouldn't know," and Chrome Dome wiped that from his head, and that has never been touched upon again, and was confirmed at the panel will never be touched upon, because the original intent was that Chrome Dome would have been responsible for Dominus Ambus's...
No, he would have been...
he would have been complicit.
Complicit. I was going to say, there's a big difference between complicit and responsible.
You're right. He would have been complicit in the disappearance of Dominus Ambus. And Rewind would have found out about this because Chrome Dome would have confessed on what he thought was Rewind's deathbed in issue 12.
Which is why they actually had it from Rewind's point of view. It showed that he was recording, and it was just implied that he'd go back and watch that footage later after he woke up.
Yes. But again, that was never touched upon. And that is straight up non-canon, so it's just a thing.
So now you can just imagine whatever the secret would be in canon, because that is not the secret.
It's probably about how much Chrome Dome and Prowl love each other.
There was also the only other question I could think of that's definitely worth mentioning because it was interesting was someone asked if Tarn could open the Matrix.
Yes.
Because of the morality lock. And basically, he avoided the question.
Yes.
Which I think was the smart thing to do, because I think really the answer was yes, and he didn't want to say yes because he didn't want...
Yeah.
In this climate, he didn't want to say yes. But really, if you look at the evidence presented and also how he describes it, the answer is probably yes.
Yeah.
It is very likely that Tarn could actually open up the Matrix.
Yeah.
But he did he said no, but it was like for different reasons and basically avoiding the question. So there is that to note. I thought it was very interesting.
Yes. But then after that was the Beast Wars Q&A panel with Ian James Corlett and Alec Willows.
Oh my God. Ian James Corlett, really cool dude. Alec Willows, coolest dude ever.
Absolute riots.
Hilarious.
Shout outs to the sweater that Alex Willows was wearing when we met up, when we got his signature on Sunday.
Yes.
His signature, it was like this cool sweater with like butterflies and wasps and flowers, and I was like, that is a sweater I would wear. I love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Sorry, that's like completely.
You're good.
He was hilarious, though. I think the highlights were he confirmed that Tarantulas was born outside of L.A. and a bunch of bananas.
Yep. That's his origin.
And then his favorite Tarantulas moments from the show were anytime he spun web because it felt good.
Yep.
Quote from him, not me.
Yep.
Amazing.
Though his favorite line was like, he said there was one about cats, and then one of the people running the show came over and told him the line. Is like, don't cats ever get tired of being stupid?
Yeah.
Which is funny because he actually wrote that. He was the one who wrote the script for the VO panel, for the script reading panel, and that line was in the script. Haha.
Wait, he's the one that wrote the script?
Yeah. Yeah, the guy who... the guy that came up and told him the line.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's actually funny.
Yeah. I realized that. I was like, haha. Oh, I see what you did there. That's why that's why he took Bud Davis's place. By the way, Bud Davis, voice actor, most notably for G1 Predaking, was supposed to be there, but he wasn't because he had fallen down and hit his head really hard. As far as I know, he has not died.
Oh, no. They said that he was fine, basically. He just couldn't travel.
Yeah. I just knew he hit his head. I didn't know anything after that if he was
here. Yeah, they
said
said that at the closing, I think, actually, that like they were supposed to have him and that he's totally fine now from what it sounds like. He just wasn't allowed to travel per his doctor.
Okay.
So.
Well, I'm glad he's doing okay at the very least.
Yeah, it was sad that he wasn't there, but I was very much glad to hear that he was certainly doing okay, though.
Yeah. But you guys don't have anything else to say about those two panels, right?
It was awesome.
Yeah. So then after that, we went to lunch, finally at 2 p.m., at the Caddy Shack that was literally connected to the hotel.
Yeah, which was totally awesome, and food was good and everything. Michael and I,
We went
Michael
out
and I
to
went to try to hear who the door prize was to, and I think I was right because I heard on Sunday they just announced it in the dealer room, but we were thinking that they might announce it because of the way it was written on the schedule, that they would announce it after the cosplay winners were announced in the main panel room because that's how the schedule said it would be.
Yeah.
But it was not so.
But I will say that's how it was for TFCon last year. That it was after the costume contest winners had been announced. And it was in there. So.
But we did get to see the winners, and there was an awesome Spark Eater and Cheetor. And I have to admit, the Spark Eater was totally awesome, but I am bummed that Cheetor didn't win first place because I feel like, I don't know, both looked like they were insanely hard to do though. So I don't know which was harder. Cheetor had more materials, I think would be why it might be harder. But the Spark Eater also had like lights. So I don't know.
Wow.
Both were absolutely fantastic though.
Oh yeah, that I was really impressed with the Cheetor cosplay. Since I've been been watching Beast Wars recently, like
Beast Wars.
So wait, but Eric, you gotta let the audience know, did you actually end up printing out one of my memes and having it?
No, I should have. I should have had them sign it and shown it to him, like one of the Cheetor memes.
I did not.
But now I have a goal. You need to keep making your Beast Wars memes, and maybe at the next TFCon, not the one in LA, and maybe Toronto, they'll have a Beast Wars voice actor, and I can find a meme that pertains to them, and we will bring it and get it signed.
Just make sure you don't do any memes about, like, I don't know, Scott McNeil at this point. Oh no. Here would be never mind.
Well,
yeah, it has to be an actor that is still living. So
I will continue doing my memes just because memes are fun. Speaking of memes, tangent. I was looking through some social media and I found an article. There's like a picture of an article talking about Titanic 2 will set sail in 2022, following the same route as the original. And then there's the SpongeBob meme with the guy with his fists being like, "How many times must he teach you this lesson, old man?" And like on the fish's face is an iceberg, and I was like, amazing. It's a pretty fresh meme. I love it. Anyway. That's not related. But yeah, I saw a lot of good cosplays. I saw a Drift and a Ratchet that looked really cool. I saw a couple, there were definitely a lot of Cyclonuses and Tailgates. There was also a really cool one where it was Megatron and, Cyclonus with their baby dressed as Tailgate, which I thought was really funny, too.
I saw a fantastic Whirl cosplay, like the human avatar of Whirl.
Yeah.
This girl, she did fantastic. That was in London the second day, though.
There was also the girl with the Starscream costume.
Oh, the Starscream, like wedding dress. Oh,
yeah, it was a dress, and then the cape and the crown. And it was
so fantastic.
Yeah.
So we didn't get to find out who won the door prize of Shatterglass MP10 Optimus Prime, sadly.
The Caddyshack food was great.
It was.
Like Caddyshack food, Miguel. Miguel,
how are your fish and chips, Miguel? He got fish and chips. I remember that. Well, I'm going to take that silence as approval. Anyway, let's see. Did anyone go to the Generation 1 Q&A with Bud Davis, Stephen Q?
We were all eating still.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. But then the third-party product preview, that panel, I guess I was the only one to go to it. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I didn't care enough.
Going through, I'm trying to think. There was I think Magic Square 1 revealed a art fire, which was cool. It looks pretty. Iron Factory revealed Jazz, which also looks very nice. Cold Constructs, is that the name?
Yes.
They teased who? Hotshot, someone, and Jetfire, right?
Overhaul, yeah.
Overhaul and Jetfire. And they specifically mentioned the fact that they did meet the goal. So they are doing injection molded plastic for this toy, which is
for their scatter shot, yeah. Yeah.
So if this one sells well enough, they will do those other ones they teased. There really wasn't much else other than is it Fans Toys that is doing the Motormaster?
Yeah, yes.
I believe it's Fans Toys, and the pre-orders actually just went up. They showed their aerial bots, which also look good, but I'm not as interested in them compared to their Stunticons. Their Stunticons were, my God, fantastic. Oh, MMC also showed off a bit more of their Bruticus, and that looked really, really good. Their self-contained Bruticus. It has no part swarming whatsoever. I mean, other than the limbs attaching, all the feet.
Wait, who did you say?
MMC.
I think isn't that Ocular Max? Or is it NMMC? Because on the list I'm looking at, it says it's Ocular Max.
Ocular Max is MMC. That's their toy line name.
Okay, that makes more sense. Thank you.
Yeah. They also revealed, because did you guys hear this announcement? Apparently, mid-Saturday, they made the announcement that, hey, there's an exclusive over at MMC's table. They're selling their Masterpiece RC in shadow colors, which wasn't out yet.
Yep.
It still isn't out yet, but they're, a special release there, which I didn't buy, and I kind of regret, but, I don't need a Masterpiece RC, but apparently it had an exclusive pumpkin head, which was scary looking, which a lot of people were saying they want to put it on their DJD shelf because it fit right in. And once people said that's what made me want it. I was like, oh man, that would be a cool original character, because originally I was just thinking it's RC. I don't care about RC. But then I realized I love the pretty and weird redecos, and a mostly black RC with a weird creepy pumpkin head would be pretty neat to have in some Decepticon team. So yeah. I am bummed, but they announced that there, and then also like I said, Fans Toys showed off they're doing the aerial bots and the Stunticons, which apparently they're releasing simultaneously. They put up pre-orders for Silverbolt and Motormaster, so they're not doing Silverbolt, air raid. They aren't doing the aerial bots and then the Stunticons. No, they're doing them simultaneously, which is quite interesting. And I got to say, their Motormaster looks amazing. They have me sold on their Stunticons. I don't need a Superion, but Menasor, I don't have a stellar version of Menasor. I love my Combiner Wars Stunticons as Stunticons, but as Menasor, they leave a lot to be desired. So in all honesty, I may go in and buy this, because that was definitely, I think, the best reveal was their Motormaster. It was insanely impressive, and the rest of the Stunticons are looking good too. So yeah, that was the third-party panel. I liked it.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I mean, at least it wasn't as crammed as last year's, from my understanding, and only featured one set of Combaticons.
Yeah, last year's panel had, I think, even added about there were barely any new reveals. It was mainly showing off stuff that was already known about, which is the same as last year. Just last year they had a lot more slides to get through, whereas this one they had less slides to get through.
Yep.
Then after that
was the live script reading.
Yeah, there's live script reading, which was absolutely hilarious and awesome.
Yep. Oh yeah, it was a good time. Very good time. And then the 86 movie screening. Yeah, which
that was quite actually fun. That was the first time I'd seen the movie on a screen bigger than my phone, and actually the only the second time I'd ever watched the 86 movie all the way through. Mm-hmm. I've watched the 86 movie probably 10 times, just watching separate clips over and over again, but the only other time I'd watched it was years ago on my phone on my couch. So I'd never seen it on a screen bigger than my cell phone. And then the Fathom Events, screening in movie theaters was nowhere near me. So I was bummed about that I'd still never seen it with a live audience. So I got to see it there for the second time ever, first time ever on a big screen. And the audience there, everyone singing and cheering, which I also participated in, was fan-frickin-tastic. And not really distracting. That was the best part. Was that it wasn't distracting, it was just enhancing the experience, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, that rocked. Did we do anything after that?
After that?
I think that was it.
No, we did dinner.
Oh, yeah, we did. We went... Wait. That was Smoke. Yeah, what's that was about? Yeah. We went to Smoke, and I loved Smoke. Alyssa, your dad made a very good recommendation.
Yes, my dad knows his barbecue. In case you're wondering, Smoke is a little place in it's not really in the city. It's sort of outside the city in the suburbs. But it's really cool. It serves brisket and pulled pork with some sauce, and you can get different sides. The brisket was great. It crumbled when I tried to bite into it, which is what you want for your brisket.
Is crumbled the right word? Because that implies dry.
No. It fell apart. It fell apart. It was very juicy.
I was gonna say, if you say crumble, that might have bad that might not seem great.
No. It was very juicy and good.
Pulled pork was fantastic. I can't believe that Michael eats pulled pork sandwiches, because we both got pulled pork sandwiches without barbecue sauce on it. He just ate the pulled pork without barbecue sauce, which I didn't even know was physically possible. I'd never seen someone do that, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little disturbed.
That was me asserting my dominance, Eric.
I don't know if it worked. I think you just confused me. But yeah, man, that was really good.
Yeah. And after that, I think when we got back to the hotel, we just kind of went our separate ways, went to sleep, and then came back the next day.
Woohoo! Yeah, Sunday morning we went into the dealer room. I was disappointed because Saturday a guy told me that was selling Marvel Legends that they're going to Doc Ock for only $20, which I was very happy with because usually they go for more, that they would have the vintage Scarlet Spider there the next day. And I was like, oh god, I need that. Like, I'm very excited. Went over the first thing the next day, and the guy there was a different guy, and he was like, oh yeah, that was my brother, and actually they took those to the other show that we're at this weekend in the city. I was like, no, so I still need that. So I was very sad.
Mm-hmm.
But, snagged some more things and all that, and then, what else did we do?
I went to the voice acting panel, and that's about it. Oh, and you went to the behind the scenes of Transformers 4 and other media panel.
Yeah, that was after this. So how was voice acting 101?
It was good. I mean, it was just a voice actors Q&A. It was relatively standard, honestly, but there was still it was with it was Corlett, Willows, and I'm trying to remember his name. He did Mind Wipe.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, and Fort Max at the script reading.
Yeah. It was Stephen Kenner.
Yeah, he seemed cool at the script reading. That's the only time I saw him.
Yeah. Older fellow, good guy. Even old. Yeah, I feel like he's. Well, I mean, Willows and Corlett are both pretty advanced in age, but I think Kenner might be older.
Mm-hmm.
He feels older at the very least.
He definitely thought.
Even though Alec Willows is the crazy grandpa.
Yeah. But the behind the scenes of Transformers 4 and other media with Rick Alvarez was an awesome panel. I would love to see more of Rick Alvarez. Apparently he was kind of hesitant to do a panel, and so the guy who organized the convention basically afterwards, like, because people complimented that panel, he was like, told you so, told you it'd be a good panel. So Rick Alvarez, he rocked it, and he talked about way more than just Transformers 4. He basically talked about how he was, involved with all the movies except the first one, and how the way they got Michael Bay to come back for Transformers 4 was that actually this one shot of Optimus Prime reviving the ancient Dinobots that were, actually sent to protect, I think, the Allspark. And it's him. Who is crinkling?
Alyssa.
I'm eating an Oreo. I'm sorry.
Let's just say that's loud. But anyways, it was like him somehow using the Matrix to revive them, and it was like reformatting all these dinosaur bones, and they actually like created Autobot symbols on their chest and stuff, and it was a really cool shot, and that's how they got Michael Bay to come back, I believe, was a picture of that. And then also some other concept for the movie was that Lockdown was leading the remaining Decepticons on the planet, and they were called the Lords of Deception, and that was like sort of Mad Max style. That they lived in this cave, and at the head of the cave, every time they walked in and out, were the heads of the twins from Revenge of the Fallen, and they would like hit them, and they would like clang every time they walked in and out. Which I was like, that should have been included at some point. I feel like that is an awesome thing, just because they're called the Lords of Deception, Mad Max style. You know, the hanging heads of the twins at the cave entrance. Like, yes, that would have been just absolutely fantastic. Several interesting things from the movies. But then he dived into Transformers Prime a lot too. Finally found out the answer to what would have happened with Arachnid, who was stranded on the moon. Apparently, if the series would have continued as planned and not ended there, the plan was to have the finale drawn out later. So Megatron wouldn't have actually died in the finale of Beast Hunters. It would have been them returning to Cybertron and then Megatron leading an invasion, and he actually would have took Arachnid as his queen and gone back with that army to invade Cybertron.
Oh.
And like literally full-blown queen, like married her. Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, so literally, like, because someone was like, so by queen, what do you mean? He's like he would have taken her literally as his queen, like married her and gone off to invade Cybertron. There were several other things. I'm trying to think. Oh, Knockout. Thundertron would have shown up with the pirates, and Knockout would have switched sides from Autobot to Decepticon. He would have been like, well, since you're here, you clearly need someone to show you around, and would have joined them. All that stuff.
Did he mention anything about any other pirates characters?
He mentioned some other pirates. I don't remember who though. Okay. I know that he also mentioned a story they had planned that would have been like an old man Ironhide story, basically, of Transformers, where Ironhide would have actually been like Iron Magnus or something. He would have had the Magnus hammer, and there would be Magnet Prime, who like literally there would have been like a toy that could magnetize the Matrix to him. And the leader of the Decepticons would have been a female. There was no name ever given to her because they barely made it into the concept. But she would have had like, what are Frenzy and Rumble's arms?
Pile drivers.
Yeah, she would have had something like that, and one would have been red and one would have been blue, and they intentionally would have scrambled like, they would have been labeled like F and R, but they would have switched it multiple times to like still just to mess with everybody. So yeah, that was certainly interesting to hear about. I'm pretty sure there was other things too. He was.
Can I say?
Man, very interesting. Yes.
Can I say? When I hear concepts about what could have happened in Transformers Prime, they are such weird concepts. Like the Knockout joining Thundertron seems pretty straightforward. But like the Megatron taking Arachnid as his queen, and also the story that I had heard about how Sea Spray would have been, because they would have had Sea Spray join the cast and he would have survived, and he would have had a whistle.
Yeah, I remember him saying something about that. There was other things too. I can't remember. There's lots of interesting stuff. I just cannot remember.
Hello?
Now
Hello?
We can hear you, Miguel.
Hey, Miguel, welcome back.
I've been trying to chime in to like 3 stories at this point.
Oh,
And
no.
like they're ignoring me. Oh no.
Okay.
What were you trying to add before, Miguel?
Well, the Iron Magnus thing. That was an abandoned game concept, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, it was an abandoned. My friend was in the panel too, and was sort of like live blogging it to me, and that was one thing where the pitch they had done was called The Last Transformer, and Ironhide would have been the last Autobot alive. Called
I think it was the last Autobot, not, or was it the last Transformer? I don't know. It was
because I mean, there's the Decepticons who, the one with the RNF. I'm trying to bring up the tweets because there was the stuff because there were a few other notes. But that's something like really cool, and that's one thing that like Rick Alvarez's position, sort of being this sort of lead on content and everything, kind of the binder of revelation, which a lot of people refer to for back when the Aligned Continuity was starting. He's the one who wrote it.
Yep, and it took $250,000 to make sits at the bottom of a drawer.
Oh yeah, those are all the things from the last Transformer.
Games that never see the light of day always kind of make me sad because I feel like there are a lot of cool ideas that could have been great, but
I mean, one thing that both not so much Rick Alvarez, but there's been panels with Aaron Archer, which is another thing that I'm sad about, is that because Aaron Archer was supposed to be at TFCon, and Archer and Alvarez were friends, or still friends.
Yep, he mentioned him multiple times as of like, especially whenever he said the pitch to get Michael Bay to sign on for Transformers 4. He said Aaron Archer was there. Like, they literally went to Michael Bay's house.
Right, like, what was it? I think Alvarez officiated Archer's wedding. Like,
oh wow,
that's to the point of sort of the friendship and whatnot that they had. So that's one thing that I feel like having the two of them run a panel, especially if they did Archer's typical panel where he kind of there's been a few years where they do it on the side. It's an additional thing you have to pay to get into because he actually shows like abandoned concepts and stuff, and how like stuff gets regurgitated because like Thundertron was from an abandoned line that they were trying to push that included the Junkions and everything, but then the Junkions ended up in Reveal the Shield. Thundertron ended up in Prime. So there's always stuff kind of getting reborn and put out other places.
But yeah, Rick Alvarez, fantastic. Would totally love to hear him and Aaron Archer more sometime. I have met Aaron Archer too, and he follows me on Twitter.
Nice.
Oh, that's really fun.
Pretty sure it's because he knows I want to be a Transformers toy designer.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really
good person to keep in contact with.
For sure. No, but yeah, the panel, awesome. What else is there?
And then, well, at that point, I know I had to leave, pretty much. Alyssa left long before that.
Yeah, because I had work on Monday, I decided to peace out early. Mostly because, in case you weren't aware, if you're watching Steel City Bots, I am not a really big Transformers fan. My exposure to Transformers is very limited. For those of you who don't know, again, mostly for the Steel City Bots folks, I've watched all of Transformers Animated. I've watched some of Beast Wars. I've read a little bit of More Than Meets the Eye, pretty much More Than Meets the Eye Season 1. Mm-hmm. And I've watched all of the Generations trilogy. What
the Prime Wars.
The Prime Wars trilogy. As we all know, the best stuff. And I've seen the 86 movie. So that's kind of what I've encountered in my Transformers education.
Yeah. Miguel, did you go to any other panels before the basically the Q&A with the convention organizer and the 2019 reveal of the location?
Only the James Roberts panel. Everything else I pretty much missed, either from being too caught up in the dealer room or just kind of needing to take a breather. Which I would hope that next time I would stay in the hotel, so that way I would have more opportunity to do that when panels that I was interested in weren't happening, because there were a lot of panels that I wanted to go to, and I was just like, I'm too tired.
Understandable.
Yeah. So then basically the organizer, there was the Q&A, which, my God, everyone was asking over and over again, which I totally get it being asked once. Totally fine. Makes sense, and I would be weirded out if you didn't ask it once. But so many people were asking it repeatedly, and it was getting really obnoxious and ridiculous about going to the West Coast. Which, again, totally fair question. You just don't need to ask it over and over again. Especially whenever he hinted at the fact, like, well, just wait.
Yeah, it was really funny how Colin kept getting asked, and at first he was just like, yeah, we can look into it, and then like after the second and third time, he was just like, wait till the end.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say is that from that Q&A, he did seem very receptive to a lot of the feedback he was getting. There were a lot of people, especially from more of the creative ends of the fandom, less of the curative ends that we collectors are, that were giving feedback as to how the cosplay contest went, the accommodations that were done for cosplayers, opening stuff up more to maybe fan writers and stuff, which I thought was really cool. And then going into where is the con going to be next year?
Which, yeah, they revealed LA in March. Early
specifically
March.
For the Generation 1 reunion is what they said. It was TFCon LA in Burbank.
Oh, wow. Sorry.
Reunion. Which, given the fact that they're probably going to push for voice actors and other people who were involved, probably with the Generation cartoon, hopefully with the comics as well, they may have settled on March because of the fact that that's when most people were available.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's also possible we could get an East Coast convention later in the year. I wouldn't rule that out, in all fairness.
I would not rule that out either, that they would probably do another show in the fall, considering if they do one in the spring and one in the summer, they leave the back end of the year Transformers convention free for at least the US and Canada, unless they decide to go to Mexico.
Yeah.
I don't think that would work so well with the current climate.
It is warm in Mexico.
Not what I meant, but okay.
Yeah,
I mean, they're based in Canada, not the US.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, but still.
So it sounds like most of us are probably, if we do want to go next year, it'll be probably to the one in Toronto.
You mean when? Yeah, no, I would have been down for LA if it was like fall next year. Like,
right, yeah.
Like a year from now, we had time to recoup, but the hotel rooms...
Less than 5 months. I was going to say, they literally put up the hotel rooms today as of this recording. So,
my God.
Yes.
So, yeah, that's a no. As much as I would absolutely love to, but like it's just not happening. I just can't. And so, yeah, I talked to Diecast and Melvar. They're probably going to be doing Toronto. Talking to other members of RC, they might as well. I really hope you guys do, because that's looking like a very, very possible thing for me.
Oh, we already kind of planned a road trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, tentatively, yes, we have.
Very tentatively, but it exists.
The
only issue is that Eric might get arrested for trying to bring Tanner across the border.
Yep. Because Tanner will still be 17.
Oh, and he can't legally go across.
Yeah, without an adult.
Oh, fair. Okay, that's.
I am an adult, but
you're not an adult enough.
I'm just not his guardian.
Yeah, and then also, I'm hoping if we do go do a road trip, I'd love to stop at Niagara Falls, because it's on the way.
I've been there so many times.
Well, good for you, Eric.
It's cool to see once. I haven't really wanted to go any of the other times I've gone. Like, I totally recommend going at least once. It's awesome. But like, I've been taken there many, many times, like probably at least 4 or 5. It's kind of boring after that.
All right, so to give you your hit of adrenaline, what we do is we find a wooden barrel.
You know, people actually do that.
Well, that's what we're going to do with you.
Yeah.
You know, people actually sometimes die from that.
We'll give you bisque. We'll give you bisque. You'll be fine unless Thermidor sabotages it.
Oh gosh, that's a very likely possibility.
Yeah.
No, but I would totally be down to go with you guys, just hanging out. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could visit Toys R Us.
Oh my god, that'd be so weird. Now we have to. Okay. Clearly we have a new requirement that we have to do while we're up there.
Yes.
But we didn't finish off the convention, because after the reveal, then there was the second Transformers podcast roundtable to finish off the con, talked about a bunch of stuff. We gave away some stuff, and then we talked about Studio Series Devastator, some things like that.
And that one they allowed multiple people from the separate podcasts to be on. So
there was 2 from every show.
Two from every show,
except transmissions.
Transmissions, who they were operating all of the AV equipment closer to the stage to record it and disseminate it later on.
Yeah,
you had Yoshi and
it was mainly Yoshi. I don't think Daryl was really doing much.
Daryl was in the front, kind of heckling.
Yeah.
So we had Aaron and I don't remember the other guy's name from Autopod Decepticast.
There was Aaron and I don't remember the other dude. I'm sorry, other guy, if you're listening. I hope you're not.
We had
I liked him.
Aaron from WTF TFW along with Vangelis. And then we had Diecast and Melvar along with myself and Eric. We were all forced to sit away from each other, so I was sat between Melvar and Vangelis, which was very, very interesting because Vangelis was very animated and Melvar was very quiet. So it was a very
contrast.
So one ear was deaf while the other ear was fine.
And despite the fact that they were like, "Oh, we're going to separate everyone so they don't as easily play off each other," pretty much every time a podcaster spoke, they either looked to the crowd or to their other co-host,
who would then respond, yeah.
Unless they were actually being playing off of someone else. But that was a lot of fun. Especially because a lot of the different people there I've listened to tons of times, and being able to actually interact was pretty interesting. And we raffled off some prizes. I was given the privilege of raffling off a signed Polaroid of Vangelis.
Saying don't give up, right?
Yeah, like, don't give up. And then it was supposed to be, as he called it, an art project with the Polaroid and then 2 Nature Valley nut bars.
That he was given.
Who won was allergic to nuts. The only person who bothered to ask was Melvar, and the guy
who jokingly said, "I hope you don't have a nut allergy." And the guy who was walking up, he's like, "I do."
Oh my god.
So then Vangelis took one and threw another one into the crowd for someone to grab.
Hope that person didn't have a nut allergy.
No, he said, "Does anyone want these?" And this one dude in the front row just like shot up his hand immediately. He's like, "Okay, well we could share," and he threw one at him and he caught it.
Nice.
Okay, fair.
I auctioned off the prize that Miguel donated. It'll be half of Steel City Bots. Battle Slash and Road Trap was the one that I got to raffle off, so that was fun.
Which I had supplied in part to see if Vangelis would go off about it like he has done before on WTF, and it worked.
He had a plan and it worked. Yes, he went off because he never found them together for a long time. He'd only find one or the other, and he's just like, who is the monster that would only buy one and leave the other? And his co-host was like, maybe someone couldn't afford one. Like, you're kind of like, maybe you're just being a jerk. And he's like, no. But yeah, it's kind of funny. Definitely a good time. And then I actually got Giordano's again before I left, and I took the shuttle from the hotel to the airport, and then from the airport to Purdue. I took a shuttle. It seemed like it was a shuttle bus. It was actually a van, stuff full of people. It wasn't too bad, though. I didn't get to sleep at all. Like, if it was a bus, I probably would have been able to fall asleep a little bit because I was done. But I was in the middle row of a van. I was like, I am not falling asleep on anyone. So,
listening to the description of all of this made it sound very sketch. Like, I told the friend I was staying with, I was just like, I think Eric's gonna die. Like, I don't think we're gonna hear from him ever again. He's in some white van.
The driver was super nice, though. It was a white van, though. But the driver was super nice, and I didn't get charged extra because I had 5 bags, and technically you're supposed to have 2 before you get charged extra. But no, dude did not charge me extra. I didn't even, imply it at all. Because I checked beforehand, because I was like, oh, crap. Because whenever I was packing my stuff up, I was just like, God, I have so many large bags full of stuff. Like, this could be bad. So I was like, I better check the policy on the bags. And I was surprised to find, like, you can have a carry-on item. So I was like, okay, so my giant stuffed backpack can count as my carry-on item, even though definitely bigger than what they intend. But I was like, I keep it in my lap. And then I checked and it was like 2 other full bags. And I was like, oh, that's more than usual. Usually it's like 1 carry-on and 1 bag. But still, I was like, okay, 2. That leaves 2 other massive bags that I have. And I was like, it looks like I'm going to get charged a $20 fee. But the dude didn't charge me. I was very happy. The problem was I got back like 12:30 something a.m. on Monday morning. And all my friends have morning classes, so I didn't want to call them and wake them up, anyone that would have a car to come take me, because I was like, they have morning classes, I'm not going to put that on them. And my roommate was working, because we work a job that works 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. on certain nights, so he was working that night. So I was like, oh crap. So I had to carry those 5 massive bags a mile from where it dropped me off on campus off to my apartment, and that was actually extremely painful by the end. But I made it somehow. It actually hurt by the end. Like, my hands it was bad. I had to stop multiple times, stopped at the ATM, stuff like that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but I made it eventually. I think I got there around 1, when it's like a 10-minute walk max normally. But it took me at least a half an hour.
Oh man.
But I made it, and I have all my stuff. I took my picture of my giant haul and everything, so yeah. Oh, I don't think you guys...
no, we didn't. We didn't talk about our trips back home.
No.
Alyssa, you go first, since yours was first.
Sure. So I left around... Sorry, I'm trying to think.
You left around noon.
Yes, yeah, I left around noon. I got onto the shuttle. It was mostly a smooth journey. I will say though, going home, I was able to put my luggage as a carry-on item instead of having to check it, because my boarding group was first, or not first, but was earlier. And I also got put on one of the the 777s, like those big planes that they take with 3 rows that they take on international flights. That's the one I was in for this flight. So that was exciting, and I got really jealous because first class looks amazing. Apparently you can, I wasn't in first class, but apparently you can shift. They have enough space where you can shift the seat so it becomes a bed. Oh my god. Anyway, and then I got home as I normally do, got ready for the next day. I had not much to unpack, or not as much as you guys did, so that was nice. And yeah, I don't know if there's much to say about getting home. They were enduring too many trials and tribulations. Although, no, wait, my bag was pulled over again. So not only was my backpack pulled over when we were going home, when I was getting to Chicago, I also had my suitcase pulled over because of the microphone that Michael got me for my birthday, which I'm using, by the way. Thank you, Michael.
Of course. I love you.
And I guess because it's like a round metal thing, they were like, bomb. So that was fun.
I know what you said, but it sounded like mom.
No, I said bomb. Also, because of that, my the microphone came and got a little destroyed. So the box was not made of very strong cardboard, but that's fine. The microphone's very nice, and I hope the audio is coming out clear for you guys. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. Just making sure. It was quiet. I just didn't want people to...
Yeah.
So that was my story going home.
As for me, I got on the shuttle. Flint Delia was on the same shuttle as me. And then there was another girl there was a family from the convention, but he and the girl from the family were striking up a conversation because she was wearing like a couple of pins, and then we got to talking about stuff, me and the girl. And then we rode there, and we were like, oh, it's good talking to you, and whatever. And then everyone went their separate ways, and then I ran into Flint Dilly because both of us were trying to figure out where we were going. And he made an offhand comment of like, O'Hare is like one of the most challenging airports to get through, like, or one of the busiest airports in the country, if not the world. I'm like, well, if we can survive this, we can survive anything. Then cool. Then we went separate ways. I got through security fine. Though when I was about to get in line for security, they said the line that I was trying to get into, they said was closed, so they had to send us all the way down to the new one that just opened, which was like way a ways. I got through that fine, found my plane, where I was going fine, got food, walked around a bit, got on the plane, got home, went to sleep, and everything was fine and good. Yeah, nothing exciting. Miguel, I know, had a very exciting trip the next morning.
Yeah, poor Miguel.
Oh, Lord.
Which this will lead us into our halls, too, won't it?
Yes.
Yes, it will, because my haul was intimately involved in my trip home. So I left, parted ways with Eric after the podcast roundtable, and then got ready and stuff because I had to leave early the next morning because my friend wasn't going to be able to drive me, and I, and in retrospect, probably foolishly, was like, I'm not taking an Uber because I don't trust, like, it's against what I was taught as a child. You don't pay someone you don't pay a stranger to get in their car and trust that they take you somewhere. But that's beside the point. So I decided, and I was like, okay, I'll just take public transit. It was cheaper and everything. And that started my 12-hour trek home from door to door, because it took 2.5 hours on via the Chicago Transit Authority to get to O'Hare from where I was. It then took another probably 4 hours or so, or like 2.5. Yeah, between like getting through airport security, checking in my bags and everything. That was really simple, but also really disturbing because I normally fly out of Newark Liberty Airport, which is close to New York City, and just given history in this country, things are very tight as far as security there, and things are very lax in O'Hare, which is one of those things I'm like, this isn't okay. I've never been in an airport this relaxed before. So I got to my gate, and then my flight was delayed, which was fun. Eventually got on my flight, whatever, got off. And then at that point, it's 6 o'clock. I didn't get home until 3 hours later because of just all the zipping around I had to do with New Jersey Transit. On top of the fact that at one point the train I was on was stuck for an hour right before one of the stops because someone on the train ahead of us was having some sort of medical emergency, so they had to get just the authorities involved to get the person safely away. And in all of that hustling and bustling with all of my stuff, carrying all of it, unfortunately, portions of my haul did not survive the trip, which will now require me to, in combination of stuff which is somewhat of a PSA, when you buy stuff at the con, especially if it's loose, pay extra attention to it. I didn't start doing that I wasn't kind of annoying about it until Sunday, which was good because I avoided spending over $100 on stuff that wasn't in good shape when I was having either transforming it or looking at it myself or having the dealer mess with it.
What was wrong with the Transmetal 2 Megatron?
The Transmetal 2 Megatron, well, one of the things that it had was like some chrome flaking, which I was like, it's gonna happen. Yep. But upon inspecting it, there's on both of his legs, there's this flap thing that kind of looks like a wheel. One of them was missing, which when I pointed it out, the dealer went kind of nuts because he was very upset because he was like, I bought this thing at even says like I bought this thing at a garage sale for $20, I thought it was complete. At the same time, he was like, I know I have this part at home, so I could have just parted it together and it would have been perfect.
Oh no.
That and on Saturday, I noticed that there was one table that had an assortment of things assortment of things on their table. It was the one near the Agabus booth. And then next to their table on the floor, they just had a bunch of loose figures in a box. And one of them was first edition Bulkhead, and it was for $40. And I had put it back. I had left to kind of go look around the dealer room, and later that night I was like, I left the $40 FE Bulkhead because that's a pretty good price, especially in the dealer room. You could probably talk them down a couple bucks. So when I came back Sunday morning, I had told Eric and Michael, hey, look out for this thing for me if you guys go into the dealer room. And apparently, based on what Eric told me, both of you looked at it, said Miguel was wrong. That's the Primar ID one, and you left.
I think I might have seen I might have looked at the wrong table.
Yeah.
Because I swear.
You showed up.
But there's a lot of tables. There's a lot of tables.
You showed up right at the same table where I was waiting for the guy to transform it, and you were like, "Oh, we thought it was the Primar ID one."
Did Mike?
Wait, was it
did
on
you
the
get
table or was it in a bin below the table?
No, it was on the table.
Okay, I really thought
Sunday
that I saw
it was on the table.
Okay, huh?
Okay, because at the very least, we never saw it. We just saw the one that was in a box that was in a plastic baggie from Transformers Land.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it was a separate table, right? I went to the right table. What was like, hey, like, could you transform this for me? Because it was in vehicle mode. And the guy was like, yeah, sure. Took forever to transform it. And upon transforming it, I'm like, okay, this thing looks perfect. Until I noticed that his two doors that become part of the chest, one of them was fine. The other one was missing all of the metallic green that it has.
Oh.
So I was like, that's missing a paint app. And he's like, what? And I'm like, that's a deal breaker for me. I'm sorry. And he's like, oh, yeah, I understand. And then a guy next to him was like, is that FE Bulkhead? So I'm pretty sure that guy bought it.
Yeah, I guess he didn't care.
Probably
notice.
I don't think the dealer would have pointed it out. I was like, yeah, it's got a missing paint app.
Yeah. Could do 2 for 30.
Well, what did you get?
Oh boy.
Wait, can I interject quickly because it slightly follows off Miguel's story?
Sure.
Of the Megatron, because we went back to that table and he found the Megatron because I had picked up a drop shot from the same guy, the Universe drop shot, and I took it out when I was waiting for a panel, and I noticed it was missing one of his side panels for his vehicle mode, and you think, oh, that's not that bad, until you realize it makes up 2/3 of one side of his vehicle mode. And I had specifically, there was a countdown, a Universe countdown next to him. And I know they were different size class, but the countdown was 35 and the drop shot was 12. I'm like, oh, that's very interesting pricing considering. And I asked the guy, is there anything wrong with this figure? I don't see a cyber key. I assume that's it. And that's all I can see. And I investigated thoroughly. Well, I guess not thoroughly enough. And he was like, yeah, it was just missing the cyber key. And I'm like, okay, cool, $12. And then I brought it back to him like, hey, this is missing a panel. And you told me it was complete besides the cyber key. And then he went rummaging through a bin. And then he was like, well, you can either keep it and I give you a part of your payment back, or you can just get a complete refund. And I'm like, I'll take the complete refund. He was like, yeah, okay. And then Miguel saw the Megatron, and then the guy had the reaction of, oh, I don't want to sell this off.
Which I commend him for, because he could have easily been like, oh, I'll knock some money off of it, but I'll knock some off the price. But he was just like, oh, I'm not selling this because it's not complete.
Yeah, even though you could have completed it yourself.
I mean, the fact that he knew that he had the piece at home probably.
Oh, I thought you said you could. Oh, I
don't have to keep it.
Oh, okay.
No, if I had the piece, I mean, still, I don't think I would have purchased it. But yeah. The thing with Drop Shot, I think one of the things is during the weekend I seemed to be like the one man price check, QC, and parts check and like TF Wiki. Just
Yeah, Miguel, that's basically your role in Steel City bots as well.
It was one of those things where you guys are just like something, hand it to me and be like,
Miguel, inspect.
Do your thing. I'm like, alright, it should probably be around this much. Here's some feedback on it. Looks okay. Oh, it's missing this. Alright, here.
Well,
go.
you did that. I didn't do that with Miguel. I just trusted because I wasn't getting so many crazy things.
Eric did it a bunch of times. Darian did it a bunch of times.
Yeah, I watched him do that with the Transmetal 2 tarantulas. I mean, the Transmetal tarantulas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun seeing it, and then just be. Oh yeah, the first one that had the ball joints that were all.
Yeah, the ball joints that were bad.
Not the second one that was the Takara one, which was like $30.
Jeez. Okay.
But yeah, my haul. I'll try to do this in chronological order from when I showed up to the con. So Saturday, in the dealer room, we turned to this one table. I don't remember the gentleman's name, and immediately he has a bunch of loose figures on his table. Soundjack hands me or shows me a Henkei Inferno, which I proceed to remove from his hands and add to a pile of a bunch of Henkei figures in my hands because I was going in with the intent of like, all right, if there's Henkei stuff, I'll probably pick it up. And this guy had almost every single Henkei figure I had been looking for.
Yeah, you did.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Granted, unfortunately, most of them a bunch of them had some minor paint flaw or something.
The main things that were wrong or issues that were to be had were, one, he had a Henkei Sideswipe, which I was excited to see because I have Henkei Sunstreaker and I need Sideswipe, and Sideswipe was missing his gun. And as much as I tried to plead with the guy of, hey, you have Sunstreaker here, Sunstreaker has the gun, they're the same gun, can you swap? You keep saying you have Sideswipe at home. The guy wasn't budging. He just set it aside and he's like, all right, I'm gonna jot down your number. If I find the gun, I'll hit you up. And I'm like, all right, that's all I can ask for. This one dude who's he had a friend helping him out. I know of the friend who was helping out from online. He's a moderator on TFW. I may hit him up to locate his friend because I feel like he'd be a good source in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Just to, like, if he's offloading stuff from his collection, grab it since I bought so much stuff off of him.
Yeah.
I got Henkei Inferno, Henkei Red Alert, Henkei Ratchet, and Henkei Ironhide. Ironhide is another one of the figures that unfortunately has some QC issues that I wasn't aware of at the con, so I may need to procure a second one, which is fun. Henkei Prowl and Henkei Smokescreen. Those were the ones that I picked up in my first sort of lot. Eventually going back and grabbing, I think it was Crosscut, Generations Crosscut, and two of probably my best gets from the con. He had a Waspinator and a Quick Strike in bags for pretty decent prices. It wasn't until I inspected Waspinator closer that he was like, oh, it's the Beast Wars 10th, and I'm like, there's no Predacon Tampograph here, but this has hella paint. This is the Telemoka, the Japanese 10th anniversary one, which probably, like, the price, it was like 20 something. I was like, all right, it seems to be right around what you would pay for it. The problem is that most people who have these aren't selling them. So I scooped that up because I don't have a good version of the original Waspinator mold anymore. I think I have my childhood one, which is the Fox Kids repaint that's blue and yellow. I have the Beast Wars 10th somewhere, but I think it's missing a missile. But grab that and grab Quick Strike, which later discovered it's the Japanese metals version with the better paint apps on the face. So I'm stressing on the scorpion legs that become his hand, but it's such an old toy at this point. Like, it's a 21-year-old toy. I'm like, I can look past it. I could probably treat it with either a hair dryer or boiling water and stuff. So I'm not too worried about that. What else? I have a lot of the stuff laid out in front of me. Picked up Generations Wheeljack. I picked up picked up some things from Eric. Eric was selling a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I picked up TFCC, the TFCC subscription service Lifeline. That's their Paradron medic, which looks immaculate. I was very happy because I had read things about people's coming kind of messed up, and Eric's was amazing, and now it's mine. Where the heck did I put her? I put her. Oh, there she is. I put her with Sandstorm because they're both from Paradron.
Yeah.
Also picked up Studio Series Lockdown, which I just opened, and that's a really fun toy. Like, I don't know. I like the look of him. I like the silhouette, and just like the vehicle mode's really good too.
It is really, really good.
I'm like surprised because I feel like I've heard a lot of people being like, oh, it's not that good, and I'm like, no, this is fun.
That's
like,
because those are all people who are all like, I don't need it because I have Peru Kill.
Like, I have him with Optimus right now, like the Wave 1 Optimus, and for whatever reason, I'm like, those two look really good together.
Even though they're never together.
Right, even though they're never together. What else? I'm looking. Picked up. The other things I got from Eric were Scoop from Generations, the Thrilling 30, and the Thrilling 30 G-Axis. I also got LG 18 Starscream Super Mode from Eric, and unfortunately, that was one of the TFCon Transit casualties. A lot of his red and silver paint is gone, and it wasn't like that when Eric gave it to me.
Yikes.
So sad.
I remember I actually double checked the photos that Eric had taken because I'm like, this thing looked fine in hand. Was this thing like this? And I'm like, no, it wasn't. So this was me. This is horrible. That was fun.
Sounds like a barrel of laughs.
It was a very and then a few other things. Henkei Thundercracker, United Thunderwing, Henkei Dirge. Dirge is great. Thundercracker is horrible. Oh my god. Well, Thundercracker's like, I had the Generations one, the like one that sold the Target and whatever. That one was so nice and tight, and Thundercracker, oh my gosh, it's so bad. Like, I have Skywarp. Skywarp isn't as bad as Thundercracker. Like, it's a sign that it's a real one because the KOs have better QC than the official ones do. So, although I've checked and I know that Skywarp's not a KO, so I just got lucky. I have to figure out what I have to do about Thundercracker. Probably some floor polish treatment and stuff. Got. Good lord. What else did I get? I got a lot. Chaos Paladin. That was another one that I picked up from the guy who I bought too much stuff from.
What a coincidence.
So did Eric. Spoiler.
Not from that guy, though.
No, not from that guy. Eric and I think we cleared out all the Chaos Paladins that were present in the dealer room, though.
Yep.
And then wrapping it up, United Black Optimus. I picked up the Spy Changer Scourge from RID. They had it on a Grand Maximus, and I was like, how much? And they were like, 300. I'm like, I know, for the little guy. And they're like, 10? I'm like, hello. This is mine now. Also, who else was there?
Even though we both discussed that would be ridiculous to do, but you did it.
I did what?
Wait, were you not just talking about the wheelie?
No.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't paying attention then. Oh, I know what you were talking about. Never mind. That was cool.
Yeah, the Spy Changer Scourge. No, I spoiled
your nice spoiled wheelie.
I was debating whether or not to pick up a $10 GDO wheelie because it had the slingshot, and I was saying no, that's ridiculous because I would only buy it. I'm only buying it for the slingshot to give to Legends wheelie. And then I turned around and bought it anyway.
After we both agreed, he asked me if he should do it, and I was like, out of all the ridiculous things you could do here, that is the ridiculous one. I'd back you up on anything else, but nope, he did it.
Well, partly is the fact that if I had purchased, if I had waited till an opportunity to purchase the slingshot by itself, I probably would have spent $10 to buy the slingshot by itself.
Nope, you can't justify it. I won't hear it.
All right, fine. The probably last two things that I'll speak to, just because I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, except for I picked up the Fans Project 6 Night, which is pretty cool. Very Fans Project in the way that it feels like the plastic and everything, but pretty solid. And then the last two things, probably two of the most exciting things. One, from the guy who I bought too much stuff from. He had the United Dark Side 2-pack with.
No, you should do that one last because that's a perfect transition to me.
Fine. The one thing I picked up.
Too late.
Fine. Before we talk about Dark Side, because there's a bit of a story there. Passed by a table, a guy had a boxed Universe Nemesis Prime, the Bloody Tusks Mammoth re-deco of a big convoy. Scooped that up because I've seen that tons of times at different cons, usually for more expensive with no box and sometimes no or at least less accessories. So scooped that up. And then the last thing, except for mentioning DX9's Pliskin, because I bought Pliskin at the last second from the Chosen Prime, and I need to talk with the Chosen Prime because Pliskin is a piece of garbage that can't stay together, and after transforming him into robot mode, he won't transform back. I will be awaiting the Chosen Prime's response patiently, given the fact that as they were driving back, their trailer with all of the stuff they'd lugged to the con flipped over in Texas. Thankfully, everyone who was involved seems to be fine, and that if you're listening to this whenever this comes out and the Chosen Prime still hasn't really reached out, bear with them. They're going through some stuff right now.
Mm.
The last thing, that will transition into Eric's gets, is the guy had United Dark Side 2-pack with War for Cybertron, Optimus, and Megatron. I was debating kind of what to do, and then Eric was like, wait, what's that? And the guy opened it. Upon opening it, the third-party upgrade set that has the axe fell out, and everyone there was surprised. They're like, wait, what? The axe is here? And it was the proper axe, colored to match him. And then upon seeing the Dark Side Megatron in all of his purple glory, Eric fell in love and was like, all right, we'll split the set. And I was like, cool. Until later that night.
When he fell in love with it.
And I fell in love with it. So currently, boxed inside of a shark head is a second Dark Side Megatron. That will be mine. Well,
I love your tenacity, Miguel.
I don't. I have low impulse control and too much money to spend.
Someone's gotta slap your wrists whenever you reach for a toy, and you shouldn't get it. Just be like, no, don't do it, Miguel.
So that should be you if we all go to TFCon Toronto next year. We're just gonna be with him the entire time, and you're gonna be his conscience.
No,
now Miguel.
I'll probably bring my conscience next time.
Okay.
Conscience is 5'2", but will kick me if I spend too much. But yeah, that was I got LG Black Arachnia. That was another thing I got.
Good.
That's a good toy. Weird toy, but yeah, Dark
Very
Side.
thin waist.
Very thin waist, but those Dark Side figures are really cool. Eric, talk about yours.
Yeah, so that Megatron, beautiful. Was so happy with that. Just a quick recap. I did already mention, because from the Target run and the GameStop run, I got Archangel from Marvel Legends. I got Cyberverse Ultracross Shockwave. I got Studio Series Dark of the Moon Ratchet and Shadow Raider. Now onto the con. So just get the Marvel Legends out of the way. I got the Build-A-Figure from the Thor Ragnarok wave, the Gladiator Hulk, which I was very happy with, and the Marvel Legends Doc Ock, both for very, very reasonable prices. And then to finish off Cyberverse, I got the Warrior Class Megatron, because after Jared got that after one of our hangouts, I decided that the articulation was decent enough, and the flailing mace gimmick rocked. So I was like, yeah, I'll get that. Then, speaking of black and purple Megatrons, I did get the Darkseid one that he mentioned, but I also got the black and purple redeco of
You
Leader
did pronounce it wrong correctly.
Exactly. No,
Because I say it faster, like I go redeco.
redeco.
You took the time to pronounce the dick part of the redeco.
Why did you say that?
Anyways, I got the black and purple version.
The animated leader class mold from Megatron, which is fantastic.
Was that complete?
Yes, complete.
Oh.
Have you tested
Yep.
out the electronics at all? Oh, you have?
No, the electronics don't work, but I think that's because there's no batteries in it.
Oh,
Yeah. Blur rocks. Deluxe Class Blur from Animated and Deluxe Class Jazz from Animated also rocks. Let's see. Let's get the art out of the way. Art, I got. There was a sticker that came with the Unrustables figure that I got, and then I also got a Tarn print, small Tarn print, a small Tarn pin, and an Amazon Prime print, which rocks. Which is like an actual character, Amazon Prime. But going back to the Unrustables, that was a dude that I actually traded a whole bunch of, sold a bunch of stuff to. So that was part of the deal, and then I got a bunch of money, which I then went and bought stuff with.
Yeah. You did.
I also got G2 Grimlock, the original G2 Grimlock, which rocks. I got the cassette 3-pack from Target. That was from Michael with the, Bumblebee one-step changer.
B.
Yeah, then I also got Battle Charge B, the leader class one, which rocks. The Last Night Crosshairs from Ollie's for $5, and Last Night Bumblebee from Ollie's for $5, which is also great. Speaking of Bumblebee, I got movie masterpiece Bumblebee from the Bumblebee movie, who I have finally opened today and is awesome, although I had already handled the mold previously a little bit. Movie masterpiece Barricade, first time handling that mold, and I freaking loved it. What other movie masterpiece? Challenger, Unique Toys Challenger. The best transforming toy I own, hands down. Could not believe it. Yeah, I'm so impressed with that toy still. And then I bought the KO of Peru Kill, which the only difference, the quality is the exact same because I've already handled real Peru Kill, is that it's cheaper and that the dog is color different, but they're coming out with a KO dog set that has 3 of the dogs, one of which is, they're all different variations, one of which does look like the original, though, so I could have the original colored dog if I want. And then I also did mention I already mentioned that I got the...
You can do it. I believe in you. Come on, Eric.
Perfect effect. Perfect effect. Transmetal 2. Already got that.
Yay, he did it. I'm so proud.
I got, and let's do speed round. MMC reformatted Deadlock, which is awesome. Perfect Combiner Core Magnus, the white cab bot for Combiner Wars Ultra Magnus, which is also pretty cool. Magic Square 1 Ultra Magnus, which is the best looking ever Legends class Ultra Magnus toy. Planet X Apollo, which is their Fall of Cybertron Ultra Magnus, which is probably the most refreshing take on Ultra Magnus I've ever had, ever. Highly recommend it. I also got, what's the company name of the little Shockwave I got, the Legends class Shockwave with the purple Diaclone suit? Does anyone know?
Nope.
The purple Diaclone, whatever.
It's a third-party Legends Clash Arcwave, which is actually really good. So I need to figure out the company name. That comes with a little purple Diaclone neck suit.
Is that the upscaled KO of like?
It might be because he seems a little big for a Legends.
Yeah, like my friend picked up a cup from that same company, and it came with Diaclone guy.
Yeah, I think so.
So for a moment, I forgot that Cup was a character, and I was like, "Why? why did he just get a cup? Like what? Like go to the supermarket like normal people. Come on!" And then I remembered, oh, there's a character named Cup, right?
With a K.
Yes.
Yep.
Cause
I
copyright.
got that, and that thing is awesome. Then I got the let's go to exclusives, the Construct Core. Which is, the retool of the Steel Core figure, which I already have the TFCon Toronto exclusive, the Severo Core, their Grimlock version, which I have to say, the Grimlock version is a better toy, but this one is a prettier toy. The battle damage on this version is amazing. Really, really well done. And I got a free little bonus, core chest guy, so I can use that on my... Because he doesn't have the chest port, which I didn't realize before buying it, which made me a little sad, but I still really like the toy. It's very pretty, so it's okay. And that little guy could go with my Grimlock version of the mold. I also got exclusive G2 Breakdown, the crack up from X Transbots, which was very pretty. I got... what's the version? The Ultra Magnus, that's the Bendy Prime mold.
The Battle in the Box 2-pack with Treadshot versus Ultra Magnus.
Yeah, I got that. I got Black Convoy for
the RID.
The Car Robots Black Convoy, the original based off of the G2 Laser Prime mold.
Yep.
Which was kind of a meme of the con because a bunch of tables had them everywhere, and we were hunting down for the cheapest one, and
we still didn't find the cheapest one.
We didn't find the cheapest one. We found I think one or two for 100. We found Eric's for 65, and then later on, I saw one that was in the box, but also inside of a bag. Turned around, and when I turned it around, it was $50, and I was just like, "Hey, Eric."
Yeah.
Okay, but here's the funny thing about that $50 Black Convoy
Was across from the 100 one.
Was across the aisle from a $100 one. So we were just kind of hoping that someone would get the $100 one, turn around, and find the $50 one.
Yeah, that'd be funny.
That's amazing.
The other meme of the con was Classics Cliff Jumper, because everyone had a boxed Classics Cliff Jumper.
But no one was selling them.
No, but one person did. One person sold them, and they sold it to someone that was cosplaying
from Gridman. Yeah.
Yes.
But I did get also, as mentioned, Chaos Paladin, which I have not opened yet, and I'm excited for that. I also got Takara Legends G2 Megatron, which looks gorgeous. Can't wait to open that. And then I also got the armor for MMC's Nova Prime, their armor, but not the inner bot. So if you're selling the inner bot to the MMC's Nova Prime, let me know. Hit me up at Eric Crowbar, because I need the inner bot now.
Because you thought
Isn't the thing called the God Cradle?
Yep, it's called the God Cradle. I have the cradle. I don't have the inner bot.
You don't have the
I
God.
need a baby to be cradled. No, but I did, and then I got from another table. I got two things that I was very happy with. I got, which I think was Saturday, Transformers Prime Terracon Bumblebee from Takara, which I have wanted for a very long time. So finally snagging that was absolutely fantastic. Made me quite happy.
Yay!
I also got from that same table Transformers Dark of the Moon Takara Jetwing Optimus Prime for $50 because Miguel pointed that out. So
nice.
Very, very happy with that. And then I also went back later and got the Takara, I forget what the line name is, but the Takara version from the last night, their version of, it was some type of exclusive, I thought. Their Nemesis Prime, the repaint of the Voyager Optimus Prime mold, that because we never got one in the States. And I don't think Studio Series is going to do it soon. So it actually is the Optimus Prime in darker colors with a purple sword and purple eyes. And I love me those purple eyes. So, and then last but certainly not least, Takara Bisque. which was an excellent find. And then I had someone else actually walk up to me and like say, "Hey, you're from Steel City Bots, right? Like, I love the show and everything," and show me his Takara Bisque that he bought. And I was like, "Yes, this is fantastic. I'm very proud."
Shout outs
was
to that
very cool.
fan.
Yes, you're awesome.
Even though this is the literal first time I'm on this show. If you're watching this on Steel City Bots, still shout outs to you. Thanks for supporting this show.
Yeah, to everyone who did say hi and that they liked the show and everything, and to the few people that asked for pictures, that was very kind of you, and I loved meeting all of you. So, yeah, it was a great old time.
Yay!
Yeah.
So, Michael, what did you get?
Oh, wow. Okay, finally on to me. Because Eric got so much. Okay, let's start with what I got from... Try to go as chronologically as possible. First thing I got was stuff I got in trade with partial payment with Eric. That included the GoBots Puzzler, GoBots Lococopter, who's incomplete, and Pathfinder, yay, as well as the G1 Dino cassettes, Overkill and Slugfest. So I've finally gotten some G1 Decepticon cassettes for probably an inevitable G1 Soundwave that I shall own at some point in time. Hopefully. I also saved for the same for a complete G1 Wheeljack, but when I saw that they were selling them complete for $130 at the con, I'm like, maybe that's less likely. After that, first things I found were a table that had a bunch of random mini-cons about in like a display setup, and I found the Corona Spark Plug that came with the Powerlinks Optimus Prime, and Clench, who came with Galvatron. And they were $3 a piece, and the Corona Spark Plug has like vacuumized chrome metal, vacuumized chrome on it. It's all gold and it was pristine, and I'm like, yes. After that, I bought a Transmetal Waspinator, who I had thought when I bought it, oh, it's incomplete, but no, it actually was. It did have its Stinger accessory. Well, I didn't think it was incomplete when I picked it up, but like when I took it home, I realized, oh wait, it probably doesn't have the accessory, but it did. Then it just fell on the floor when I was pulling things out of bags. And then I think the next thing might actually be my favorite thing I got at the con, which is Terradive. The Hunt. No, it wasn't Hunt for the Decepticons. It was just Transformers 2010. Maybe it was affiliated with Hunt for the Decepticons. But the Terradive mold, got it for $5 complete. Everything was good. I've had a wonderful time posing that figure. And while I did get another figure that I've been waiting for a while, and is a really good figure, I think just because of cost versus playability, I think Terradive does win overall, which I found very surprising. Then I went to the table that had the same table that Miguel was getting all of his Henkei stuff from. I found Generations Skids, Generations Trail Cutter, and Movie 07 Fracture with the color. It was based on the Crasher mold, using Crasher colors from GoBots, who's based on the Mirage toy. That was cool. That was fun. And then after that, we went to a booth that had a lot of BotCon stuff, and I didn't realize till well after the fact, like the next day, that that was Pete Sinclair, who was a big deal at BotCon and all that stuff. But from there, I got the 2 pieces of animated fiction that were convention exclusive, the Return of Blur and the Stunticon job, the Diamond Select printing with the extra content in the back. After that, there was a Cybertron Evac, which I picked up, which was complete with Cyberkey and everything. Really cool. Never had that. So now I only need one more of the planet leaders from Cybertron, and they are complete. And that one is Metroplex, so I will need space for him. Rewind. G1. No, why did I write down Rewind? Eject. G1 Eject, because I have G1 Rewind already and G1 Ramhorn, and all I need is G1 Steeljaw, and then I'll be set on Rewind's Autobots. And then I got a boatload of Japanese exclusive minicons for incredibly good prices. The individual ones were $10 a pop, and then the full teams were $20 a pop, and the one team included 4 of them, and they were all like Japanese like special giveaways, and it was awesome, and I'm so stoked I have them. For reference, I obtained Overdrive Edition versions of the Street Speed Minicon team, Spiral and Oval. And since we're in Japan, their names were Sieg and Nitro. And I'm only missing their one team member, so I can hopefully snag that at some point. I picked up one version of the Destruction team, Destruction Minicon team, the Buzzsaw mold in the Undergrove colors, which is really nice, like limey green with brown and like some blue highlights, which is really nice. Then the last individual one I had picked up was Sparkplug. What was it? Sparkplug Prime Mode, is that what it's called? Or Super Mode?
I wouldn't know.
Sparkplug. Come on, TF Wiki. Don't fail me now. I'm sure you know. It's like Super Mode Sparkplug. Prime Super Mode Sparkplug, yes. That was released in a solid green color, which was canonized as a separate character called Ran by Aspector Prime, which was fun. And then the 2 teams I picked up were the Guardian Minicon team, which were Redecos of the Recon Minicon team from Cybertron that are called Guardian Powered, Guardian Sky, and Guardian Speed. Very creative names because one's a truck, one's a helicopter, one's a car. I bet you can guess which name goes with which.
I think the Sky one is for the truck, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but like, still very obvious, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, totally.
And then I picked up translucent versions of the Classics Dinobot team along with the Classics Dragon mold that were all released around the same time. But the Dinobot versions, the Dinobot minicons, being based on the movie minicons in translucent colors, I should say, with the movie Dinobots pre-production names to hide their identities. So, and they were named after Rocky villains. So we have the one that's based off Strafe being called Polly, the one based off Grimlock called Ivan, and the one based off Slug being called Thunderlips, which is beautiful. And despite the Dragon one being very closely associated with them and being sold with them, unfortunately it is not named Drago. It is named Sling. But those were some stupendously good minicon finds. Speaking of very good finds, I picked up a Galaxy Meteor for myself with the money partially with money Chris had owed me. Thank you, Chris. Very good toy. Unfortunately, the one hip ratchet is not fantastic, and I saw things on forums a little bit, but I didn't see a fix yet, so I'll have to keep looking about that. Then one thing that I found that Miguel was like, dude, just get it, because it was a good price, was Gasket, aka Cybertron Ransack, who was released in Japan exclusively in a police deco. And I got that for a very good price. I even got it cheaper than the amount of money you had to spend in Japan to receive it, because it was one of those exclusives that were like, oh, you get this much amount of money from the store, then you get the figure as well for free. But I got it, and it's really cool. Other things are not as exciting as that, but I did pick up a Cybertron Thundercracker for $6, just because mine literally split in half from my childhood.
Oh
so
my goodness!
Rest
in pieces.
Yeah, literally. Admittedly, like, not a great mold, but like $6, I couldn't go wrong. And it wasn't complete anyway. was missing a missile. After that, I went back to the same booth. I got Corona Spark Plug and Clench, and found Armada Predacons, Minicons, Skids, and Sideburn. And I'm like, I don't think I'm finding Predacon at this point. I haven't seen it at all. So I just grabbed him, just grabbed them because I thought that'd be fine. Rob did show me later on that there was someone that was selling Predacon complete, but it was in the box. And at that point, I'm like, I don't have enough space in my luggage. So I was fine. I was fine with that. Then what I thought was going to be my last thing was I picked up the Airstrike Minicon Patrol, the full 4 team from Micromasters from G1 for $15 alongside an animated jazz for $15. I thought that was going to be my last purchase. But Miguel found the demolition team, the classics Minicon team, consisting of broadside, sledge, and wide load for $10. And I'm like, I know I don't have that. I'm going to get it because the team's complete. And then I also got a signature from Alec Willows because you have to pay for signatures. But because you had to pay for signatures and they could only take cash, and at the point I realized, oh, wait, I don't have enough cash for 2 signatures. So because I wanted to get Ian James Corlett's as well, but I went with Alec Willows because admittedly I like Tarantulas more. But Ian James Corlett is still an amazing person, and I'm still sad that I couldn't get his autograph. But that's it for me. So now on to the last person, Alyssa. You got stuff at this convention.
I did. I said I wouldn't because I didn't think I would, because Transformers, as I've said, isn't really my big thing. So I was like, and like, look, I'm not like against Transformers. There have been Transformers media that I liked, and I'm sure once I've gotten more into the IDW comics, or maybe once I finish Beast Wars, I might be more inclined to get things. But I mean, even figure collecting isn't really my thing. So even if I was more of a Transformers fan, I feel like getting toys might not be my jam. But anyway. Suffice to say, I didn't think I would get anything, and I didn't get anything until on Sunday. Before I left, I was perusing around, and out of the corner of my eye, I spotted a really cute Mimikyu poster, and I was like, oh no, and then I ended up buying 3 of them because they were $5 prints, and how could I pass that up?
Yep.
So the prints I got were Mimikyu, because I really like Mimikyu. I also got a Breath of the Wild Link, and I also got Mike and the Bots from MST3K, or Mystery Science Theater 3000, which I was really surprised to see. I mean, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is probably a lot more popular than I give it credit for, but I mean, finding a print of MST3K stuff is still like not something you really see all the time, so I got it. So I'm very happy with my purchases, and I can definitely say without a shadow of a doubt that I spent the least amount of money in terms of merchandise for this convention, so yay.
I mean, you're not wrong. Definitely not wrong. Miguel, how much do you think you might have spent, if you're okay with mentioning that number? Unless you're not.
I'm not. I know. Okay. I think I know how much I spent. I'm not right. I'm not happy. I'm also not happy about the fact that this Darkseid Megatron is broken.
Oh no!
No. What? How?
He has a lot of molded detailing on the back of his robot mode.
Mm-hmm.
A bunch of it is like scuffed or has parts broken off.
No, I'm so sorry.
It's fine. Since I purchased it, more have shown up on eBay for cheaper, and the seller that I purchased this from is really good at offering refunds and returns. So I'm in the process of sending them a message just like, hey, it's messed up. Can I have my money back?
Yeah, I'm happy that they're at least willing to do that. That would be really sucky.
Well, I mean, we've yet to see what the full extent of this will be, but this just adds to the frustration and the ongoing cycle of me not being able to buy toys because every time I buy something that I'm excited for, and it ends up being broken.
Oh no! Yeah, this convention has sort of been cursed for you, hasn't it?
It has.
I'm ready for Toronto where like things aren't as bad. Also, where's Eric?
He went to make a call at some point.
He disappeared into the ether, never to be seen again. I guess now I'm the host, guys. I have successfully taken over Steel City Bots. I hope you were prepared. And sorry, Eric. I know this was your project for a long time, but trust me, it's in better hands.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, it's okay.
Alyssa,
I'm kidding.
If you took over, does that mean I still get to be second in command?
Yes.
Okay, fine. I accept this. I accept this coup. I'm fine with this. Miguel, join us or die. But
I think this is
going to be really confusing for the Soundjack Rambles people listening to this, though.
Yeah, Soundjack Rambles, guys. It's pretty much the same business as always.
Yeah.
Only instead of it being Soundjack Rambles, it is now the Rational Dove Rambles. Sorry, Soundjack.
Oh, you taking over my channel too? Okay.
I guess so.
That's where I draw the line.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, let's make a negotiation then. If I get Steel City Bots, you get to keep Soundjack's Rambles the way it is. How about that?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Oh man.
But I do want to, while Eric is still off gallivanting about,
yeah.
I want to talk about a story that Miguel and I had, an encounter. Miguel and I, not an encounter. An interesting event story.
Sure.
So I think Miguel knows which one I'm talking about, right, Miguel?
No, I don't. I'm on the edge of my seat to know what I was about.
As soon as I start the story, I know you'll know.
Okay.
So it was Sunday, and we were walking behind the Chosen Prime, and we saw that there was a guy that had a bunch of Power of the Primes figures. Still in their plastic shell, but missing their card back, and more importantly, missing their Prime card. Now, do you know where we're going?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, thought so. So we talked to the guy, and I was like, why are they all missing their cards? And I was like, oh, I got them from a buddy of mine who bought them all only to get the cards and then gave them to me, and I'm selling them kind of a discount. Because he was selling the deluxes at $15 a pop, which, especially for like Nova Star, who he had like one or two of, it was really good. And we're like, huh, that's interesting. Well, lucky for someone else. And then we were walking around a little bit, and then we stopped at another table, same about area as the Prime dude. And then at some point, Miguel realized this guy will buy toys, and Miguel had a couple extra copies of Power of the Primes figures. He was trying to see if he could unload, and the guy, and he said that, oh, that's cool. Let's see if there are cards I don't have, because that I'll give you extra for them. And I can't remember exactly how it happened, but I think I looked back at the table with the guy with that I could see from behind me, with all the different Power of the Primes figures. I'm like, wait, was that? And no, I think Miguel might have asked that. And Miguel was like, wait, was that you? And then he was like, oh, yeah, I'm collecting all the Prime Wars cards, all 12 variants of all the figures. And we were just kind of, I think, slightly awestruck about how far his collection was going, and how Miguel was getting ready to feed it even further. Yeah.
Amazing.
Man, ran forever though, because he was like, oh, I'm not sure which cards I have, so I need to get my computer. So he sent his friend to go up and like.
Who was the friend that was watching the table?
But it took the other guy like 20 or 30 minutes to get the laptop.
Yep. In that amount of time, Eric found the table, realized that guy was buying stuff, went up to his room, came back, and they had started the negotiation process, I think, by the time he came back with the laptop. Or like, no, Eric just brought it down, and then you two started negotiating. No, Eric, no, wait, never mind. Eric did not get back yet. Never mind. That was a pointless story.
That guy, I feel sorry for that guy, because trying to get those cards, man. What a trooper.
And Miguel had none of the cards he wanted, so.
Oh, that's sad.
He needed, I should say. But, yeah, that was a good time.
That was a good time. So question, I guess, to sort of summarize things. What is your highlight of the convention, and then also your moment you could do without?
Ooh, that's probably going to be tough for Miguel. I bet there's a lot of moments he could have done without.
I'm sure.
So, jeez Louise.
Do you need more time to think about it?
Yeah, do you have...
Let me think. I asked the question and I'm not even sure. So I guess for me, the highlight for me was probably just being able to hang out with everyone. I mean, I obviously, like I've said many times, this isn't really my huge jam, but I feel like TFCon just let me like hang out with, the rest of the Steel City Bots crew that was there. And even though I'm not on Steel City Bots often, or at all, I guess, it was still nice seeing people that I knew about and that I've been wanting to talk to. So that was really great. And I also really liked the prints that I got. Even though I said I was really adamant about not buying anything, I have no regrets about buying what I did. And, that was really cool. I guess my moment I could do without was, probably the whole breakfast scenario. Like, I really wish breakfast was a little easier to sort out. It also kind of sucks that Rosemont is so insular and that you'd have to take Ubers to really get around. I feel like if we were able to have our own cars, or if we drove, it would be a lot easier to just kind of go places. Obviously, I probably wouldn't have wanted to take a car, if only because that would have meant I would have had to leave on Sunday way, way earlier. I mean, it would have been it's a 10-hour drive from where I live to Chicago, so, and since I had work the next day,
yeah, I
didn't want to mess with that, so flying was the better option for me. So yeah, I feel like the breakfast scenario was pretty unfortunate. But that's me. So anyone else? I don't know if anyone else has a.
I definitely agree with you. The breakfast situation was definitely a low point, especially since I had to go back to Starbucks for another bagel, even though I thought I was being prepared and getting 2 bagels, so I didn't have to go back the next day.
Yeah.
High point. High point. I don't know. Let's Eric talk. Eric, what was your high point and low point for the convention? Eric?
High point. Sorry, I was muted. High point. I'm not sure. Low point. Guy flashing Ironhide at me. No. High point might be Giordano's. That was amazing.
Oh, that's a good point. Giordano's was quite fantastic.
That might be my high point. I'm not sure, though. Also buying a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, seeing my bank account. Definitely the low point. That's what I'll put it at. There we go. That's actually it.
The truth bombs. They don't stop falling.
No.
Boy.
I still don't know what my high point is. There's so many good moments. Everything almost.
Oh,
Like, not having not having complete drop shot was not fantastic. A complete drop shot. Our room. Well, I mean, the one thing I'll complain about the hotel was that that wasn't going to change was that it was by the airport, so it was loud with the planes.
oh yeah. Also,
So-
we had some pretty noisy neighbors.
That we
so
That we could have changed. That could not have happened. The airport wasn't going to be different because
fair.
of the location.
That's
But
fair.
the noisy neighbors and the fact that we were right next to the elevators, those could have been different.
Yeah, that would have been really nice not to have.
Yeah.
But I guess you can't. Guess.
Well, we
sometimes-
slept. We
Yeah.
slept.
Yes.
My point.
You'll come with it eventually. I believe in you.
A lot of it. So much.
I mean, I guess you don't necessarily need to have one.
Potato.
No, the
Potato?
potatoes
Where
not.
were the potatoes at the con? When?
Eric is. We didn't see the potatoes. Actually, the potatoes were Eric because actually Eric is a cleverly disguised stack of potatoes in a trench coat.
Exactly. Even though I never wore a trench coat.
So
but
wait,
you know what I'm to wear next time.
Wait. If you're potatoes, what kind of potatoes are you?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Like, are you cooked or are you like raw potatoes?
Are you
Wouldn't
sweet?
you like to know?
russet?
Are you in like a burlap sack? Like are you just like one single potato?
I can't reveal all my secrets.
But I thought this podcast was a tell-all about Eric Cronover's life.
No, not the potato aspects.
Oh.
That's private. That's private
Oh, I see.
stuff.
I guess
no one
I guess
can know about.
I guess that's fair.
Wait, Alyssa, I thought you were
concede
taking over the podcast now.
Oh, that's fair. All right, Eric, you have no choice. You got to tell me all your potato secrets now.
Wait, did you take over the podcast while I was gone?
Yeah.
Did. I
Yes.
staged a coup.
See,
and
this is why I should never tell you guys that I'm stepping out.
I agreed with it because she let me stay second in command. I lose neither way. I don't lose either way.
Well, you lose if I take back command, and I'm like, what the heck, Soundjack?
You don't have anyone more reliable than me.
Miguel, you're now second in command. Congratulations.
Okay, that's fair. Miguel is actually quite reliable.
Yeah, there you
That-
go.
if anyone else is listening to the podcast from Steel City Bots, I'm sorry, but it's kind of true.
He means full offense. No, I don't think any other host would argue that you're more responsible. They would just argue that they're more fun.
I
Damn.
mean,
Huh. Damn.
Wow.
I'm not saying he isn't
Guess
fun.
you're the boring one, Miguel.
I didn't say, no, I didn't mean Miguel. I meant Michael.
Oh, Michael, guess you're the boring one.
oh yes, I am boring, despite the fact that everyone likes to make the fun of how I pronounce a specific word.
Okay, just because you can't pronounce a word doesn't mean you're fun. I'm just saying. I mean, I
Damn.
do think you're a fun person, but just because you you pronounce redeco wrong doesn't mean you're fun. It just means you're weird.
Whoa.
Uh,
I mean, you're pretty weird, Michael. But you know, that's a compliment in my eyes, so it's fine.
Oh, thank
Is it?
you.
No, it definitely is. Not being weird is extremely boring. So
Yeah.
Excuse
Oh,
me.
I didn't freak anyone. I didn't know what a low point I've realized is.
Yeah.
I didn't freak anyone out at the convention by making them realize I was a contortionist.
No, you didn't.
I am surprised I held such restraint.
Yeah,
Well,
because
I
you guys.
saw you
walking-
contort yourself.
From just
You
walking
contorted
in front
yourself
of
for me.
Chosen Prime's display cases and starting to do weird stuff.
just staying at the front while people are still coming in and just starting my show.
And just be
Yeah.
like, see what I can do, and they'd be like, what the hell?
What's wrong with him?
I'm trying to buy toys.
I thought this was the Human Transformers convention. I thought we were all contortionists here.
You
Well,
could
that's-
say
yeah.
that this is how I negotiate toys. I just freak the dealer out until he gives me what I want. It's very
No.
simple.
No, I stand in front of their booth. doing weird
Driving
tricks,
away
scaring
sales
people
by
away.
doing that, and then they're like, "We'll give you this if you leave, please."
And then no one will invite me back next year.
I mean, in all fairness, you don't need to be invited to TFCon. You just have
That's
to
fair. I'll just come back, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh God, he's here. What do you want?"
You'll strike fears in the hearts of men with your contortionisty ways.
And women. There's a decent amount of women at the convention.
Oh yeah. Okay. Actually, high point for me. High point for me, and this goes for pretty much all TFCon. There are way more women there than I thought. Like, when I was initially going to TFCon, I was under the impression that it was going to be, like, you know, a huge sausage fest, and I was going to be, like, the only woman there, and I was going to be really awkward, and I was going to be like, oh, no. But there's, like, a ton of women there, and I was really happy about that. I was like, great, this feels wonderful. You know, so I'm really happy. I'm really happy about that. I think it's really great that Transformers, despite its sort of outward appearance as a guy thing, has a lot more inclusivity nowadays, I suppose. So that's great, and I'm really happy about that. I consider it a plus.
There's gonna be even more women's, at least one more at the next TFCon. Hint, hint.
It sounds like there might be two from comments Miguel was making.
That's
before.
what I thought too.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought.
No. I'm implying that as well. So no, you're right too.
Oh, I thought you were implying your girlfriend would be there.
I am. That's why I just said two.
Wait. Oh.
The joke. Dang it! Eric had to play his cards early. Incredible.
That's whenever I was actually gone. That's the phone call I was actually making.
Really?
Yep.
Really? Asking her if she would want to go?
Yes.
And other things, I assume?
And convincing, and saying goodnight. But yeah, basically convincing, like, it won't just be me at Transformers panels the whole time.
She can hang out with me and we can be lame together. It'll be perfect.
And I said that, like, we might stop at, Niagara Falls and stuff. And I was like, it'll be less boring because you and them will all be there and I'll actually like it and stuff,
We'll talk about all the girly things, like...
She's more of a girly girl than you are, I think. I don't think she's not a super girly girl. Let me put that out there.
What is her, like, what's her big thing? Like, my big thing right now is video games.
It's Christmas.
Oh, man, I like Christmas. Does she like dogs? I don't. Does she like dogs?
She loves dogs.
Oh,
she
man, we'll get along well then. She likes what?
She loves babies.
Oh, cool.
Not humans. But anyways.
Yeah, well, cool. So, maybe I'll be... Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Joined by more fellow women's next year.
Yay! So Miguel, you haven't answered the question yet, though. What is your high point and moment you could have done without?
High point. High point definitely was simply hanging out with everyone. It was something that was just really fun to do because we.
Did I give a high point?
What?
I gave a low point, but did I give a high point?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sorry I interrupted you. I just realized that because I was like, did I not say that? If I said something else, replace it with what you just said. Because that was definitely the high point. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just hanging out with everyone, and just because we do this every week and everything, and it's I don't know if I talked about this much, but like just the whole thing of like, once you finally meet someone that you or meet multiple people that you've talked to mostly online, like it's like, is it gonna be weird and stuff, but it's one of those things where it's like you're meeting someone for the first time, but you also already know them. So it's one of those, hi, we're finally meeting, and then you immediately go into whatever nonsense you've already concocted, like from all your
you completely pass over the awkward trying to feel out what this person is mode, right. And you just go into we're friends forever mode. Maybe not friends forever mode.
You're tall. Let's go find that black convoy.
let's find all of the Nemesis Primes that I don't have, so you can buy them.
Pretty much how it went. Low point. There were a lot of low points from this weekend. Not to say that I didn't have fun. It was just there was a lot of nonsense going on in the background beyond what I've talked about that thankfully seems to be blowing over. Although now I'm just left with the aftermath of like everything. I seem to be cursed. Where Soundjack Michael breaks things, I just buy things that are already broken.
Yeah.
Eric, you missed it. The Dark Side Megatron I bought, I have to return it.
No, why?
It you know the back plate where he has all that nice molding?
Yeah.
On mine there's a bunch of bits that are like cracked off and like falling.
Oh no.
Like, scraped it against like pavement.
Aww.
I'm really sorry, Miguel. That sucks.
And that's the only one that you found super like reasonable, like about the right price on eBay, wasn't it? By itself.
Like 2 or 3 more have just shown up after.
Okay, that's good.
For cheaper than I paid for this one.
Well, you know what? It'll work out in the end.
Yeah, because the guy I bought this from is good at returning or at accepting returns. So I already sent a message to be like, and this is the second time on this podcast where I've purchased something from him, opened it on the podcast, and being like, "This is broken. I have to return it now."
Unfortunately, well, at least it's good that he has a good return policy. Though maybe you shouldn't buy things from him anymore if you're having this luck.
Maybe I shouldn't buy things when I'm having this luck.
I mean, that's also a thing.
That's a solution that you're not going to do.
It's probably the most logical solution, but like, where's the fun in that? I guess. Oh boy.
Precisely.
Okay, so is there anything else we wanted to talk about? I'm trying to think.
Are there any stories that people want to talk about that we didn't mention yet?
I don't think so. I think going through the whole thing chronologically kind of went well. I think we got most of it.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
All right.
Coolio.
Cool beans.
Are we gonna wrap it up then?
Yeah, I guess we are.
Let's wrap it up and make it a burrito.
Should we do social media? I just had side story that has nothing to do with TFCon. I just actually, for dinner before this, made a gobble-rito, which, for those of you who don't know, is magnificent. It is Thanksgiving dinner, basically, as a burrito. So, it is mashed potatoes with black beans mixed in, which actually is not, you don't notice them that much, so it's pretty good. And then stuffing, then turkey, then a little bit of corn, and then gravy, all wrapped in a tortilla, and then gravy poured on top, and it is absolutely fantastic. And yeah, they're at this restaurant called Mad Mex. They have them exclusively for like a month or two during fall, and they're fantastic. But I just made one on my own in my dorm, and it was actually really dorm. I'm not in a dorm, thank God. I'm in an apartment. I made one by myself in my apartment. And it was so good. I was very surprised by how actually almost just as good it was. So,
You know,
there's why instead of a burrito, we're wrapping it up like a gobble-rito.
Like, so by hearing you talk about this, half of me is like, wow, that sounds tasty, and the other half of me is like, I feel like I'm slightly scandalized by this. Like, how dare you put mashed potatoes in a burrito? Like, are you crazy? But
crazy, but in the best way.
I see. Anyway.
Oh, should we do social media?
Yeah, we should. I just realized while we figured out how to do the intros, we never figured out how to properly do the outro, so we're just going to wing it at this point, I
think I have it figured out. So, if you like this podcast, if you're listening on Nerdy Geek Talk, definitely, to the Steel City Bots version, definitely subscribe to Nerdy Geek Talk on YouTube or anywhere you listen to podcasts, all that good stuff. Apple Podcasts, iTunes.
Is that where we can hear Steel Pity Pots?
Exactly. iTunes is where you can hear Steel Pity Pots. Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, all that good stuff. Also, at Nerdy Geek Talk on Twitter, where it'll tweet out the episodes. Also, there was another episode of Steel City Bots this week where we actually talked about like the studio series reveals and all that good stuff, and bots, all that fan-frickin-tastic stuff. And it was us who were here, minus Alyssa, I think.
Yeah, it was. It was exactly that.
So we're on double duty, and everyone else is slacking this week. Jeez, what the heck? But so there's that, and then at Steel City Bots on Twitter as well. But personally, you can find me at Eric Crowbar on Twitter, at Aramis Prime on Instagram, or at Eric Crownover on YouTube. I think that's about it. So, but also if you're not listening to Soundjack's version, then definitely, if you're listening to Steel City Bots version, head over to Soundjack's YouTube channel, Soundjack426, and subscribe to him there, where you can catch the Soundjack version of this podcast, the Soundjack's Rambles, since this is our amazing, super planned out crossover episode.
Yes. which my Soundjack's Rambles also features a pre-show talk for TFCon if you want to hear our thoughts about the show beforehand.
Yes, which Steel City Bots does not have. So if you actually aren't subscribed to him, that is basically a bonus podcast. So head over to his YouTube channel and get that, because we didn't do anything for that for Steel City Bots. So definitely head over there for that.
Yes.
Where else can people find you? At Soundjack426, basically.
Yeah, Soundjack. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram as well at Soundjack426. If I'll do my normal spiel for the Steel City Bots podcast, but obviously if you're on listening to this on my YouTube, like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff. Twitter and Instagram, Soundjack426. I also have a Patreon. I don't advertise that much because I also don't do that much with it. Honestly, I think in coffee might be better because it allows people to donate when they want to rather than being on a paid thing, and especially since I'm not being good with keeping my Patreon up to date with things. I don't know. I'm saying things now just because I'm tired, even though I probably shouldn't. But
Thinking out loud.
Yep, how dare I? But anyway, my YouTube channel, Soundjack426. That's where I post my reviews, and the Soundjack's Rambles podcast. My Twitter is where I post my photos to Instagram. Instagram.
You got this.
My toy photos, and my Twitter is where I hang out. So come on by and say hi.
Nice rhyme.
Yeah, that's what I do at the end of every Soundjack Steel City Bots. Okay, it's almost.
I did not know that.
It's almost 11. I'm ready to sleep.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel you. Wait, did your internet go out at all?
No, I'm with Alyssa.
He has good internet now.
Honestly,
I was like, what the heck? Why didn't we lose him at any point? This is very weird.
honestly, I just had been having low levels of stress because I'm like, okay, when's it going to go out? When's it going out? And I had to keep reminding myself, it's not going to go out. I'm not home. I'm somewhere that actually has a stable internet connection.
That's funny. It's just so weird that yours goes out at like basically the same time every night. That is so weird.
10:24 on the dot.
It's so odd. Miguel, where can peeps find you on the interwebs?
People can find me on Twitter at Logos Minor, where I currently am trying to offload a bunch of stuff to kind of recoup costs for.
Once someone reminded him to actually continue the thread.
Well, no, I was continuing the thread, got hit, and I was throwing the massive amounts of shade and put on.
It has been hours since you tweeted that. I was like, this is my sales thread. I was like, oh, I'll look at his sales thread. And it was one tweet. It's just like, well, this is a really long sales thread, aka not even a thread, because it's just a tweet at the moment.
Yes, and then I tripled it in size. Now there's 3 tweets.
I just thought it was really funny. I was just like, oh, I'm going to look at this. And then I was like, am I missing something?
I took the pictures this morning, started at work, got busy at work, and then by the time I got home, I was like, what the hell's happening? Like, everyone's ragging on me because I only tweeted one thing. Then
everyone? Wait, did someone else say something?
Well, it's more like you tweeted that, and then, like, Zeus, my friend Darian, and, like...
Oh, yeah, everyone started liking that tweet.
We say everyone.
I'm pretty sure I liked that tweet. I think I did.
4 people.
Amazing.
I didn't mean everyone. I meant, like, everyone that was at
that knows you well.
TFCon.
Not even that. Zeus wasn't there.
Yeah.
I know. You know what I mean.
And we're probably
No,
not going to
no.
see Zeus at the next TFCon because he can go to the one in Burbank, and we're just going to go to the ones in Toronto.
No, he and Jerry can hang out.
Yeah, they can hang out.
And then it'll just be us again for unless I somehow manage to abduct Tanner over the border.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But I mean, you said your girlfriend could come along.
Well, yeah, and Miguel's girlfriend also. But I meant like
Yeah,
Transformers fan wise.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Making her debut on the podcast of this specific show, Alyssa.
The Steel City Bots one, not on the Rambles, obviously.
Yeah. Alyssa, where can people find you on the interwebs?
So you can find me on Twitter at The Rational Dove. Currently, I am pooping
Being
bricks.
irrational.
Thanks.
What are you doing?
She's pooping.
Oh my god, I'm making such a good impression. I am currently pooping bricks over video game news. So if you want to yell at me about that, I will perfectly yell back at you. Currently, it's Smash Bros. I am all over it right now. So if you want to yell at me about Piranha Plant, I am here for you.
Piranha Plant is going to be everyone's main.
I am maining Piranha Plant, and no one can stop me. That is my mood right now.
Basically, everyone's impression who listened to Steel City Butts and other podcasts like Anime Overdrive, now first impression of Alyssa is she poops bricks and yells at people about video games. So
That's not their first impression. That's their first impression about anything else disregarding TFCon.
I mean, true, but still.
I swear I'm more put together. I promise.
I don't know about that. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. I'm being assaulted on all sides.
And this is the side of Eric that Miguel was worried would get punched at TFCon.
I'm so surprised you got away
He's well
scot-free.
behaved. I'm going to commend him. He's well behaved.
Yeah, I'm well behaved. Yeah.
Oh boy. Alright, so
I don't think it's mean. I'm just trying to be funny. But anyways.
Yeah, so tweet at me, say hi. I'm very friendly, I like to think. And also I'm also on Anime Overdrive. I'm not sure when the next episode's gonna come out. I think we're recording this week, maybe.
I don't know. You're the one podcast that I just don't even bother trying to exercise jurisdiction over.
We'll figure it out.
I upload your crap, but like I don't even.
Speaking of which, we got to talk about.
To try to get stuff done.
Speaking of which, we got to figure out what the heck's going on with NGT reviews and Misaligned at this point.
Yes, we do. But anyways,
I'm on there too. And also I'm on Soundjack Rambles. If you're from Steel City Bots, come check us out. We talk about a lot of random stuff. We talk about.
Are you on every episode?
Not every episode.
She's been on like 95%.
I feel like it's a lower percent because I don't think you've had that many.
Fair. So 90. I mean,
Yeah.
we're at 40-some episodes right now.
Okay.
I don't bother counting during the episode. I figured out when I'm uploading to YouTube and I'm putting the number, and I'm like, okay, I got to go to the playlist and figure out what the last episode number was, and I think the last one was 42.
Yes.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Amazing.
Yeah, which is apparently Rocky Horror Picture Show. So.
Wait, what? Oh, that's what episode it was. Okay, that makes more sense.
Right, wasn't it? Wasn't 42?
Yes, it was Rocky Horror because it was for Halloween and we did the Time Warp again.
Yeah, so yeah.
What?
They moved the tweet button on Twitter and it's bothering me so much. Instead of the top right corner, it's the bottom right corner, and I keep pressing the top right corner and there's nothing there, and I'm like, why am I not tweeting? I'm not sending a tweet right now to someone on this show.
I weep for you.
I have not received that update yet, so I am fortunately unscathed by that weird change.
It's very weird.
Anyway, so I'm on there mostly. Mostly I'm on Soundjack Rambles, so come check me out there. And that's all for me.
Yep.
I think that's about it for this episode, so thanks for listening, and see ya.
Bye.